choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is grand finals time here in Playtonia presents Valorant Warfare. 1 month of matches. We had 258 teams join us, and after 400 plus matches played out, we have our top two who will be duking it out today for the ultimate prize. Walking you through the action today, I'm Shay Sayer. Joining me, as always, is IC Baby 1-2. How are you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to see one of the best teams from all around South Asia competing for a huge chunk of the prize pool here. And once again, for those guys watching at home, welcome back to the Valorant Warfare presented to you by Playtonia. And remember to vote for your favorite teams today, because today the grand finals is going to be a whooping. Well, it's going to be one of the best teams from all around of South Asia going to be competing here. It is going to be none other than Team Noble Esports going up against Team Exceed here. We saw interesting matches coming from yesterday in the semifinals, and today in the grand finals. Oof, we can see the fans starting to cheer on. Who's gonna take this best of 5 series? Because this best of 5 series is gonna dictate who is the best of the best here. And Shade, I can't wait here, because like I'm really excited to see who is the better fragger, who is the better support, who is the one going to be taking the crown championship title of the Valorant Warfare. In this case, I don't know, man. Like, any thoughts here? Because we saw a little bit of snippet from production there. Far exceeding expectations. What are your thoughts on that, Shade?
I mean, coming in to the semifinals yesterday, none of us had actually seen the teams in action in the server. We had 4 teams joining us, all of them unbeaten. That has kind of changed now, but the 2 teams that are with us in the finals today, Far Esports, aka Godel, as well as Noble Esports, both of them are yet to drop a single map. Both of them managed to take their semifinals too, and I wouldn't say in convincing fashion, especially with how map 1 went for both of them. So I'd say going into this, I think Noble are going to be the favorites by a margin. But I think a lot of it is going to come down to the veto and a few other mechanics in play. But that is what the players are playing for. 258 teams wide at it for a month now. 1 lakh INR on the line. 40,000 INR for the qualifiers alone, where we had 10,000 INR of prize pool per qualifier, where the winner of the qualifier walked away with 5,000 INR. Actually, the winner is here in the finals. The second place walked away with 5,000 INR, third and fourth with 2,500 INR, while the grand finals prize pool itself is 50,000 INR, where 25,000 for first place. We have 10,000 for second place and 7,500 INR each for third and fourth. And we do have a little bit of a special prize pool tucked away, about 10,000 INR, where the fan favorite team gets 5,000 INR, the fan favorite player gets 2,500 INR, and the MVP of the finals walks away with a sweet 2,500 INR. What do you think about that, IC?
Well, that's going to be, a huge chunk of the prize pool for the players here. Of course, we are here to support the community here. Playtonia is all about gamers, is all about the community. And I hope you guys enjoy yourself here, because we're going to be going into the game very, very shortly in the grand finals here between Far Esports and also Noble Esports. But of course, as Shade mentioned as well, the individual special prize. Be sure to vote for your favorite team here. Is it going to be Far Esports? Is it going to be Noble Esports? Or is it going to, and also vote for your favorite player, the MVP in the match is going to be selected today as well. And all of this is going to be announced on our social medias here at Playtonia. Of course, we did hear a couple of names yesterday as well. We did hear Sammy. We did hear MW1. We did hear Knight Rider as well. We heard a couple White Horse, Yanq. All these names needs to keep spamming in the chat here if you guys want to support your favorite player and your favorite team is going to be competing today here. And on the brackets, as you can see, for those of you who's just joining us today, yesterday we did witness an exciting match between Reckoning Esports and Noble Esports, with Noble Esports overcoming the odds, taking a clean 2-0 against them, and Far Esports also taking their 2-0 against Team Exceed here. So hence the tagline, farly exceeding expectations. But nevertheless, they have made it from a long journey. Now they are going to be duking it out in this grand finals between Noble Esports and Far Esports best of 5 series. We saw really close moments from both series yesterday in the semifinals with game 1 whooping and a very close finish here, one being 13-11 from the side of team of Noble Esports, and we had
Yeah.
13-10 with Far Esports. So both of them closely, almost lost their first match, but eventually steamrolled into the second game, and they hence made it to the grand final. So we're looking at 2 of the best now, going to be competing now. Any thoughts here, Shade? Do you think, what are we going to be expecting here?
Well, let's have a look at the lineup for Noble. I think the one notable change that we see from the squad that did play in yesterday is the fact that the stand-in MW1 is now replaced by Sai. So Sai is going to be joining us for the finals. Sammy had an explosive map 1 on Haven, pretty much setting up Noble to take that series 2-0. And I think Rexy, Hika, and Harsh, all of them played an amazing support role around those two, enabling them to get to this grand final stage. But that being said, Sai is, I think, someone we need to keep our eye on. An amazing player on the operator. I think is going to be a very high impact player who's going to decide how this grand finals is going to play out, IC.
Yeah, for a second, we were kind of worried yesterday as well when MW1 replaced Sty. Hey, is this going to disrupt the entire chemistry of the team here? And yeah, I think during yesterday's games, first game in the Heaven, I think the first 6 rounds was super shaky from side Noble Esports. We were like, what's going on? Oh no, maybe the sub coming in was a really hard to gel with, especially they're coming in as sub first time competing. And after the first 5 rounds, we saw them grew and started to build chemistry over time, which was pretty impressive here. And game 2, MW1 popped off. And I was hoping to see a little bit more from MW1 today, but guess what? They are going to be going back with their original roster here with Sai back in the picture. Hopefully, this does not disrupt whatever chemistry they built from yesterday. But enough of Noble Esports here. Today, we're going to be looking at Far Esports now on the roster. For those of you who have just joined us here, be sure to vote and take a good picture on who is going to be playing today as well. Be sure to write down in the comments as well who is going to be your favorite player coming into this tournament here. And to right off the bat, we have from Far Esports, we have Shivy, we have SMX, we have Whitehorse, we have Scar God, we have Knight Rider. Thus far, we saw amazing performance coming from Knight Rider and Whitehorse coming from yesterday's game 1. Game 2, Scar God did step it up for the team, taking the MVP title second game for Far Esports. So looks like we have a lot of star players from both these teams here, Shade.
Yeah, and the one change I would say as compared to the agents that we saw coming in from Noble to the agents that were picked by Far Esports. In fact, both of them played the same 4 agents. We had Jet, Omen, Sova, and Cypher played. And it was the change up with the breach for Far Esports on both their maps, while it was Reina and Raze the change up for Noble. So interesting to see how if Noble have come ready to play around the breach, ready for that. But let's look at the veto that's in for this best of 5. So Haven is going to be our first map. It's picked by Far Esports, and Noble have decided to go on defense for this. I think this first map is going to set a lot of pace for the remainder of the series, primarily because if you look at the veto from yesterday, Noble picked Haven, while Far Esports also picked Haven in their series. But that being said, Noble almost end up losing Haven to Reckoning. Reckoning were leading 11-8 at one point of time, only after which Noble were able to pick up 4 consecutive rounds, in fact 5 consecutive rounds, come back and take map 1. So that being said, on a head-to-head, we're going to have to see how it plays out. But for Esports, going with Haven, I'd say, considering that Noble also picked it, it just kind of shows the confidence. They're coming in, they say, you know what, we're not really going to try and play to Noble's weakness, rather we're going to play to our strengths. And I think that will kind of set the pace psychologically as well for the remainder of the series. Let's look at map number 2 on Ascent. No surprise there. Noble's pick coming in. They did pick it. I do believe they played it yesterday as well. That is Far Esports. We saw, in fact, Noble played it. They popped off on MW there with the operator, and I have no doubts that Sai is going to fill those shoes pretty easily, if not do a lot better on that role. So that is something that Far Esports need to keep their eye on as well. So before we walk through the rest of it, I think we're already ready to jump into the action here for map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Grand finals of Playtonia presents VALORANT Warfare. We have Noble Esports, who will be starting off on defense here. Far Esports on attack, and we already see the first pick going the way of Sai there, able to put the Ghost into play. Man advantage on the defensive side. Far Esports, they're crumbling early. Sammy there with the push through A-Long, catches one of the players napping their FP, and they're forced to come in early. Flash comes through, frenzy point. Oh, in fact, he does he could have been there in the corner, forced to reload in the open, but he didn't have backup coming in from Harsh, and that is gonna be a flawless pistol round coming in for Noble Esports.
That goes there. Ah, this is a nice spot. This goes here. Yes, this should do.
Well, 1-0. As we do have a group up towards A-Long, challenged by 2 players in. In fact, it's the Phoenix and the Jet trying to contest early on. A lot of utility expended, as well as we do see Far Esports trying to come into this, but it's going to be Rexy with the Spectre. Sammy jumped in as well. He managed to get one. Knight Rider does get the one pick off with the classic, but moving in through the tower. Yeah, the Cyber Cage drops, the Cloud drops. There's no way they could go through that and hope to survive with the inferior weaponry. It's pretty standard anti-eco coming in for Noble Esports, 2-0. Looking at the picks, no surprises here. We do see the Phoenix picked up by Noble. They did, in fact, run the Reyna yesterday on Haven, but looks like they've readjusted with the Phoenix pickup. Some bit of counter utility,
Okay, let's get set
as well as entry potential up against the Breach, who I think did a fantastic job yesterday, both on attack and defense, allowing Far Esports to be able to get themselves onto the site on attack, as well as fend off early pushes when on defense.
Hello.
Yeah, I do hear you, IC.
Oh, okay. I thought you can't hear me. I was about to say there was a crazy round here for first 2 games from Noble Esports, and now Far Esports, they are on the rifle round. They definitely need to start to pick up their pace a little bit here. With the Breach, they weren't working out so much here. They have to play a little bit slow pace here, as you can see Noble Esports pretty much has a pretty perfect understanding of what's going to happen as well. And now they're playing a little bit to their strengths. And look at this aggressive push coming from Sai. He's going to be pushing down towards Sewers here, and he will catch out Knight Rider. So that's going to be a great opening for Sammy. And immediately the respect comes in. They won't retreat from this. And now you can see immediate reactions coming from Far Esports, pushing towards B side as well. But look at this engagement here. He can try buying much time for the team here. He goes in for the push. Unfortunately, he gets taken down. But is it going to be enough time? But because Far Esports did already wreaking havoc, they got 3. SMX gets picks off, and it's going to be a 2v2 situation. The bomb plant is there, and Scar got bait with the bomb plant, and Hard gets picked off instead. Sammy will wait for the second pick as well. Can he clutch the 1v1? But no! Scargard will take him down, and that's going to be Far Esports taking round number 3.
Yeah, to get themselves onto the scorecard here in style. Something that we see Noble Esports doing quite a bit yesterday. Noble Esports on attack, especially on Haven, were the ones who were playing rounds ultra aggressive at the start. While Far Esports, they had a much slower approach in their matches yesterday. We saw them spread themselves over, try and get a pick off early, play the mind games early in the round, but that was completely different with them just charging in towards B and Sammy. We've seen them do this all day yesterday as well, very aggressive with the operator, relying on the fact that he's got tailwind to get him out of the tricky situation, and it pays off there. Far Esports, they lose the jet early on in the round, and Noble reply back strong.
Very early operator pickup here coming from Noble Esports. Immediately catches Far Esports off guard a little bit here. This time they're going to play a little bit slowly here. But look at this. Once again, with the drone pickup here, try and bait here. Open Sammy up for the pixel shot. Can he go for it? He goes for the shot. And that's going to be a second kill for Sammy as Far Esports looking going for the push. But he gets another. That's going to be a triple kill for Sammy. And the spike has pretty much been exposed into his long here. And it's going to be Far Esports to retrieve these. But can they get it here? Because now he's going to be exposed. And Sammy gets a quad. Can he get the ace? That's going to be one more kill for him. He's looking for it, and he gets the ace. Sammy touches it for Noble Esports with the first off pickup in this grand final. What a play.
Sammy on the operator there. Massive plays. Ooh, that sets up Noble Esports. That should get the juices flowing for them right there. You have a look back at the replay. An early pickoff at long, and he plays it beautifully. Split second, flicks back up. The breach is absolutely no idea. Almost the collateral there. And with the fork, he even chases it on the Omen there to seal the ace. Well, looks like an early timeout called, as Far Esports says. You know what? I think we need to chill things down a little bit here, I see.
Yeah, I think it's a really good call to actually settle from there as well, because that was an insane round from Sammy, and for Esports, they were definitely caught off a surprise. They were on a steamroll here. They got one win, which took out a lot of their mental strength in that particular round where they won that first round that they needed. But after that, when the operator came in from Sammy, that definitely was caught off guard. Hey, do they push immediately and use... Initially, when Sammy got the opening pick, Far Esports was hesitant to actually go in for the push. They were debating, hey, do we push this? And they waited for the right moment. They waited for too long, and it allowed Sammy to re-engage that fight, punishing all of the players from Far Esports. So they literally gave one body away for free in Sammy, and it's really, really smart to take this pause and timeout to figure out, hey, guys, we need to reset. We were caught off guard. Now what do we do? But guess what? Shivi, they try to make a play to a C here, but the smoke a little bit too late here from the Omen, and that's gonna be Sammy picking one off from beside Noble Esports. So Far Esports once again at a disadvantage from this operator pickup from Sammy, and because of this, they are gonna back out here. Seems to me they are gonna be sending a couple of movements to try and send certain rotations here. Nice shock arrow there for small, but the timing comes out, but Rexy won't push out far long, and he's gonna get one pick off. Here comes a pistol from Sammy trying to tag out a couple players here. The Sheriff will tip him a little bit here, but it's not going to be enough. But Far Esports, they've lost too much, but the Sheriff is doing some significant economical damage here. They need to take this operator, and they will secure it for the team. Far Esports, can they secure it? Because as of now, the bomb plant is there. It's going to be a 2v2 situation. Far Esports, both of them relatively low now. They have the Hunter's Fury, but Sai is already stacked up here. He's going to go, and the Sai will get picked off as SMX catches him on the right timing here. It's going to be 2v1 situation with the operator from White House. He needs a one-shot, one kill. Can he get it? He sees it. He goes for the aim shot. And Hart looking at the wrong angle. And an eco round. And they won it hands down here, Jade.
They won it in convincing fashion after giving up the first pick towards C-Long. It was Sammy. At that point of time, he was sitting on 11 kills right there. He is more than double the second highest in the server. And the decision to push in through the Dark Cloud and attack Far Esports there, I think, was a bad call, where they end up giving the first kill away for free, and once the numbers were equal, they just charged in with the pistols, and having recovered the operator there at the end, it was unfortunate that Sai coming in. For all that thought, Kerbal is going to try and get an early pick here with aggression from the defenders, but the Phoenix not going to find anything, having to back off. But I would owe it down to a little bit of over-eagerness there from Noble Esports to kind of push it towards C-Long while they already had the opening pick. But then again, it's very early stages here. Map 1, yeah, I think you can pretty much afford to throw one away and still be sitting in a very comfortable position here in the grand finals. That's it, 3-2. We do see a take attempt coming in towards A-Long. We only have the Cypher here who's gonna get hit up at Haven. Jet doesn't get spotted out. He's gonna tailwind straight into the Omen. But Hart can't push through. Out comes the Hunter's Fury. And he's gonna get hit at the back there. Beautiful retake coming in from Noble. They just crush Far Esports. They get themselves onto the Cypher. Then what? It's Scorecard. We've seen him go massive captain. The free fire not gonna help. Peaks out wide. And that's Noble responding back almost instantaneously for 2.
Oh, that was just so unfortunate they're coming from Far Esports. They wanted to play mid here, and at the same time, as soon as they pushed for A-Long, they tried to go for a double boost, but Sammy was so far back into his short, and they got an easy pick here, and they did not have enough utilities to actually close off the entire site here, so that's going to be their demise there, and Sammy getting a free kill off like that was really insane as well, but it's just really fortunate that Scorecard was able to trade off that kill, despite Sammy being in a position where he could have taken 2 kills here. But nevertheless, valiant attempt coming from Far Esports. Still, great Noble defense coming in from Noble Esports. So it's going to be 4-2. Meanwhile, this is going to be the bye round. Once again, Knight Rider, they're sneaking all the way far B here. So this is pretty deep all the way through. But look at this rolling counter being used from side Far Esports, trying to zone them off, but no movements whatsoever. And they're all still stuck outside of mid here. And Noble Esports, they're making no movements here. They're trying to force some sort of reactions coming from Far Esports. But Rexy will be the one to shut them all out. And Garage stands squatting out in the open. They get 2 easy pickoffs here. Great stuff coming from him. And now with all these movements and noise coming in from the Garage, everyone from side Noble Esports know where exactly they are. And that's going to be Rexy taking a triple for himself. And Shivi gets taken down. SMX tries to clutch it for a team with the Vandal. He's going to try and go for the flank here. As he's going to get scouted up. He will find Rexy as well with 60 health. 1v2. Can he clutches him? No, he will not. As Sammy comes in from behind with the operator.
Having had 5 ultimates up for Far Esports, I thought they were going to play that a lot slower. Use the ultimates to thin the numbers on the side of Noble Esports. Take a agent or 2 down. If not, at least use it for information. But instead, they decide to play it very fast. I believe the Hunter's Fury was used previously, but only one. They just got picked off one after the other moving in. They're absolutely clueless on so as to where the players from Noble Esports were. And Sammy, he's back into his same old trigger, but this time, ooh, I think he messed up the tailwind there a little bit, and he's gonna be lucky that he manages to make his way out. And looks like it is going to be Phoenix here who's going to try and buy some time. Sai moving in aggressively here. Too short. The flash comes in, but he did have the run it back. Gets back in time. Blade Storm activated as well here from Sammy. Out comes the Cyber Cage. Is he going to try and peek him through the edge? Yeah, he does take a peek there. Sneaky like. But meanwhile, Scorecard is going to try and pull the distraction here. That was huge. He needed the kill there, but having gone down, that is all the control away. They're going to give up the king, and Rexy's just going to hold his ground down. He's got 1, and he's got 2, and in comes the neural tap. They know exactly where the last player is here towards Long Soa. I don't see him being able to save this with 40 seconds remaining. In fact, Sai is already on the push. 1-2, bye-bye. 6-2 for Noble Esports. They look super strong.
What a flawless round here coming from Noble Esports in this 8th round here. And a beautiful defense coming in from Rexy as well. Once again, he's been stepping up in this particular game himself here with the recon arrow. He was able to bait out so many movements as well. He was trying to bait, I think, Shivi to look the other angle. But at the same time, Shivi was caught out and open as well. Shivi was expecting to fall all the way far back here. He was holding the flash, trying to go in for the flash peek. But unfortunately, did not work out here. So he was caught holding up the flash and he just got picked picked off immediately here as soon as a recon boat scouted in here. So great stuff coming in from Rexy. However, the game continues, and to start things off, Harsh gets an early pick onto a Shivy here, and this is not looking good for Shivy as Noble Esports, they're crumbling on the cookie jar. Now the Blade Storm is available on the Knight Rider as they are going to look for a couple of economical damage here, as this is going to be an eco round for Far Esports here, Shade. Look at this, the push comes in. Uh-oh, Knight Rider gets caught up. That's going to be a Blade Storm down here, and we are left with 2 members left. Far Esports, they have the ultimates. I don't think they want to use it, but Nika will get a nice pick through the smoke, but nope. Sai will finish off the things once again. So that's going to be another flawless round coming from Noble Esports here, Shade.
Well, a B hit there. They tried to just force the issue. We've seen Far Esports do that on a couple of occasions now, where they lose the opening pick. They still decide to just straight up go ahead and rush in immediately without spending some time trying to neutralize the numbers. I think, yes, keeping in mind that was an eco round, but I think Far Esports, we've seen them do that once previously as well. Sammy, we did see him now time and again aggressing at A-Long. I think if he does that trick another time, he might just end up getting caught out, and we do see the switcheroo here. Sai has been putting in a lot of pressure through short, and looks like they're gonna try and double peek it this time around. Maybe ensuring that they do get an early advantage. Yet again, that is something that Far Esports need to be aware of. If they do spread themselves out thin, there is absolutely no chance to punish this aggressive play, I see.
I think this timeout is really, really worthwhile as well. Like, considering that they have 3 ultimates available for Esports, they have to figure out here what do they do with it. Because as of now, Noble Esports, they still have the Hunter's Fury to defend against the Rolling Thunder. So they have to plan this out as much as they can. Possibly try to bait out the Hunter's Fury and then go in for the execution for Far Esports. But only if they can get it here. Because at the same time, they are also worried about this operator coming from Sammy, who's been pretty much denying them, denying all their entry points, especially up on Shivy twice now. So right now, Far Esports, they have to figure out a way to try and protect Shivy, pop out the Rolling Thunder, and also bait out the Hunter's Fury here. In this case, this round will continue. Let's see how it's gonna go here, because it seems to me they are gonna be sending White Horse down towards Mount to go in for the pick, and that's gonna be SM Max taken down by Sammy as they are going to go for a double push towards mid here. But Sammy, whoa, get the Scar God on top of that flash here, and Shivy will get taken down as well, and that's gonna be another round. Bites the dust for Far Esports here, Shade. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be pretty unfortunate there.
Can someone stop Sammy at the moment? He does go for that peek towards short and pretty much takes Soa down, and a beautiful shot coming in onto the Omen as well, as completely blinded. Noble Esports are just firing all cylinders here, and Far Esports, eco round, gun round, they just don't seem to have the answer, I see.
Yep, before we continue the game as well, a little bit of tidbits for you guys here. Be sure to vote for your favorite team here, because the vote is happening now both on Playtonia's Facebook page and Instagram starting now, and this will be live until tomorrow 9 a.m. IST, and we will be picking your favorite team of this entire tournament. Likewise for the favorite player, which will be starting tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. on Playtonia Instagram only. So be sure to vote your favorite player tomorrow, and the game continues here, Shade.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy's got my vote already. If he can continue firing away like this, I do suspect Far Esports are in with their hands full for the remaining maps. But right now, ScarGod and the rest of Far Esports, they're gonna have to dig deep into their strat books here. They've tried a couple of different variations, but the push through 5-41 gets the second as well. They get the third, no. But Horse is there for the cleanup, and they're gonna use the neural theft here. White Horse, they're gonna have to go here. Absolutely no alternatives. The Fury come through, but Sammy operated to the face, takes down White Horse, and ScarGod all alone. He did go under Haven. Style points here for Sammy. If he goes for the hit here, he's gonna go in, and is there a second too late as Hika gets the kill in Diffuse, coming to 9-2. I did not see this happening at the start of this grand finals IC.
Yeah, beautiful round here coming from Sammy. As Far Esports, they're slowly crumbling here, but at the same time, we've seen this time and time again from previous history here. In the map of Haven, defenders do have some sort of preference between all the teams here, and it might be a comeback coming in from Far Esports, but at the same time, it is Noble Esports' favorite map after all, so it's no surprise to see them dominating all the way through. Meanwhile, Sammy, beautiful performance thus far. Sai as well with the flashes here from the Phoenix. We did see, I did mention as well, Phoenix has been a very, very popular pick here due to how much it's been able to contribute in this current patch here. And Far Esports, they're just getting caught off guard by this. And now Breach with the power flash. Wolfforce weakened down from the boost here. Unfortunately to say, they will not commit into this mid push here coming from Far Esports. And Noble Esports, they're playing super aggressive. Meanwhile, Far Esports, they're forcing this round as well with a couple of SMG buys, as Knight Rider will be looking all the way from short here, as they're looking for the information, and that's going to be information given here. Sai gonna go for the pop flash. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect. Running back is there to buy time, and he will get Knight Rider. He's gonna go for the gun. He's going ham. He's looking for more. He doesn't have ammunition. He's gonna go back to the same spot, but can he survive? No, he will not. As Shivu Wolf takes him down. Sai tries to buy enough time for the rest of the team to rotate in. Unfortunately, not gonna be enough here, as they are gonna be planning for the retake here, coming in from Noble Esports here, Shade.
Ooh, he ran out of ammo at the absolute clutch time there. Forced onto the frenzy, couldn't find the kill immediately. But the retake is coming through here. Down goes Dark Tower. Oh, my lord. That is as fast as it gets. Far Esports gets obliterated off the server. 10-2 at the end of the first half. Double digits already. And Far Esports look far, far away from making a comeback here in map number 1 IC.
What a godly performance here coming from Sai. He tried his best to hold all by himself, and who would have thought this Phoenix was able to buy so much time and proven to be so disruptive towards Far Esports. And because of that, now Far Esports with this second half, hopefully things will be turning for the better coming in from them here. Meanwhile, a little bit of announcement for you guys watching at home as well. Our favorite team voting is happening now, both in Playtonia's Facebook and Instagram, starting now, and this will be live until 9 a.m. tomorrow IST. So start voting for your favorite team now in the comments everywhere. Start posting on your social medias and tag Playtonia. Meanwhile, an aggressive rush here coming in from Noble Esports to take towards C-side here. A couple of pre-fires coming in. Far Esports, they will lose the Cypher, and that's going to be C completely let off, and it's going to be a retake up on Far Esports here. As you can see the Molotovs here, try to zone a couple lanes here, but Knight Rider and Shibi will get a couple nice pick-offs here, and they are going to go for the retake here. Jet pretty low here, but Sai they're going to be going towards CT here, and Hika will catch off as the back. Pre-fire is coming from Sai. It looks like he will back off to try and hunt for the last player here, and this seems to me Knight Rider will get hunted down from Hika. What a backstab coming from Hika here, Shade.
Well, this is exactly how Noble Esports played the entire map 1 yesterday as well, up against Reckoning. Super fast pushes coming in, and we did see the C push as well. They like to get the plant in, and they don't like to stay passive. They continue to attack in towards C-Link. They take full control, absolutely denying any sort of rotations coming in from Far Esports. And that is as clinical of a pistol round as we could have seen right there. And now with the SMGs, Noble Esports are looking to close things out real quickly here in map number 1. Bear in mind, this is Far Esports' map pick here. That considered, it looks very scary for the remainder of the team. He's able to clean up onto 2. Sammy joins into the party as well, and it is 10 map points incoming here for Noble Esports to take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5 finals.
Oh, what a really unfortunate round there for Far Esports. They tried to stack to get a couple utility economy damage there, but unfortunately they only managed to get 1. And this is going to be potentially their last round here for Far Esports. This is going to be their last eco round here. Can they pull a Hail Mary for Far Esports here? Can they exceed the expectations of every fan here supporting Far Esports? Because as of now, Noble Esports, they are 1 step away from taking the first game in this best of 5 series. In this case, you can see SMX will be the one to lead the charge here with from the side of Far Noble Esports. as they are going to go for a couple picks here. Sai is going to go push really aggressively down towards B. They get a couple shots in. Shivi would destroy 2 players here. Sammy gets pushed, but look at this Sai, very aggressive, gets punished for this aggression as Far East somehow manages to defend against the Hika. Will find a nice through the pixel shot from afar, catches White Horse off guard. So it comes down to a 2v2 situation, and Knight Rider takes down Hika. And this is gonna be the last potential hope here. And it's Far Esports tries to make the play, and it's gonna be a 2v1 situation. It's all up to Rexy, and we saw Rexy clutch this kind of situations many times now from the side of Nova Esports. So this is something Far Esports needs to consider who they're facing up against here. Meanwhile, checking the corner, smoking all the way through here. Rexy gonna be holding the angle towards Hell as a Knight Rider gonna be going for the double push. Do they check the angles? They know exactly where they are. Goes for a white swing, and that's gonna be Scorecard taking him down and keeping it alive for Far Esports fans here, Shay.
Well, Rexy there didn't really have too many ways he could have played that post plant, and Far Esports, I think in that 2v2 situation, getting that first frag was absolutely crucial, allowing them the numbers advantage on the retake there. Rexy, I think the max he could have done there was maybe win the first engage, but chances were that Far Esports were going to be able to get that trade in regardless. That being said, I think Noble Esports kind of played that round as loose as they could have. Sai, in fact, charging through the Dark Cloud all the way, even after getting spotted by the Recon Bolt, pretty much straight up through B-Link there, charging in, getting taken out by the Sova. If he does get that kill, that is the B side pretty much locked down. Noble Esports to win it right then and there. But right now, looks like they're going to charge in towards the C side. White Horse able to shut down Sammy. Sai taking a lot of damage as well. He's going to get caught with the flash in. And Harsh needs to react just back in time. Sevito replies back, takes down Hika, and it's down to a 2v3. The numbers advantage yet again for Far Esports here. They do have control of the C-side Noble. They haven't got the plant in just yet. In comes the Hunter's Fury. Don't think it's gonna achieve much here, Rexy. They're just using it early in the round as SMX is playing the patience game right now. He's waiting in for backup to come through. Sova does have the spike, but are they rotating back out? Yes, they are. They're gonna just slowly try and
30 seconds
their way
left
out of garage here and possibly back in towards the B side. There is Sova playing contact here. SMX tucks himself into the corner. This kill's gonna be key. He's gonna miss it. The white swing coming in from Harsh. SMX.
Off your feet!
That's the whip that cost
planted.
them round one. In comes the breach. He's gonna try and move in with time. Rexy does get knocked in, but where's the kill? It's just not here. He's got the angle, but it is the Jet who wins that duel, and it's all down to Harsh in a 1v2. He's got himself the spy cam alone. He does not have the cyber kids. They have to peek in. They have no idea. They tap at the spike here. He tucks himself into the corner. 70 HP. He can make this happen. He's just buying time. He knows what is up, and he gets caught in the corner. Oh no, he wins that duel. Chances are he could have probably just straight up bought time, eventually forcing Jet into an unfavorable duel, but not to be the case.
Shivi, outplaying Harsh at its finest here, but at the same time, that was a really tough call there coming from Noble Esports, but still beautiful performance earlier in the round from White Horse here. We saw White Horse's Cypher pulling up the big guns in that beautiful defense here. He managed to get so many pickoffs all by himself, bought enough time on C side here, and we saw it time and time again from yesterday's performance coming in from White Horse. It seems to me he is back online. Far Esports trying to make a climb back here as it is going to be 12-4. It's going to be a long run here, and look at this, Noble Esports, they're going to be forcing the round once again here. We see aggressive pushes once again. Can he get a pick up on the side? What a headshot! Knight Rider bites the dust. As Noble Esports, they are still on the eco round, but still, the Sheriff one tap is going to be a force to be reckoned with here. Meanwhile, Far Esports still playing a little bit disciplined here. Sammy will force to play Storm, trying to make some sort of rotations, which succeeds in making three of the members from Far Esports to push towards A. And look at this, they're backing out slowly. They're leaving White Horse to defend against these C-side once again, all by himself. They need to be careful what's going to be next here, but they're going to be sending the Omen back to his B side here to try and reposition to spread out their map control here, as Noble Esports going to be playing the time against the clock here. 50 seconds left on the clock. Sammy tries to go for the punish for any aggressors coming in. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to connect, but Sai gets scouted out towards sewers here. As seems to me Far Esports, they are going to back off, but Sammy will get a pick to the Shivy as SMX will go in for trade-off. So it's going to be 3v4, and Noble Esports still has a huge advantage in this situation here, as they are going to be going for the push here, but the C side will completely get planted out. But Scorecard, they go for the aggressive push. Scorecard is pretty much blinded here. He's going to be blinded at the moment here, but he will get a pick off once again, and that's going to be him down for the count. And it's all up to SMX to punches for the team. He's got smart flash, but it is only the running back here. He goes in for the reload. It's going to be a 2v1 situation. Hart gets the flag here. Can he get the shot? He gets the job done, and Noble Esports will take the first game in this best of 5 series here, Shade.
Oh, wow. What a beat down there, Icy baby. Map number 1. Map picked, in fact, by Far Esports, who managed to absolutely decimate their opponents on this map yesterday, while Noble Esports, bear in mind, yes, they did play in with a stand-in of MW1, but considering the prowess of the player itself, they did kind of struggle on this map. So coming in, we did say, yes, this map number 1 is going to dictate quite a bit of how this best of 5 finals will go, considering the fact that Haven is gonna be the decider if we do go the distance back out again. But 13-4, I did not see that happening. Sammy on the operator picks it up very early in the map, and boy oh boy did he turn up here, Icy.
Yeah, that was a huge one here from Sammy. They steamrolled all the way from coming from Noble Esports here, and we were questioning as well, will it affect their overall team performance coming from Noble Esports after swapping MW1 out, and Sai came back in the first few rounds. I was questioning it here. Maybe it's not working out, and he put a huge round towards long all by himself, and also on A side on his own with the running back with the Phoenix here. So I would say the teams might looking stronger than ever, and I feel like this might be them taking the entire series for themselves. But at the same time, it's only game 1. We're going to be switching into game 2 very, very shortly here. And for Esports, they have to step it out in game 2 here. Game 1 might be a loss here. They have to figure a way to deal with Sammy's operator. But on the meantime here, they have a few moments to actually figure out what's going to be the next game plan here. It is a best of 5 series. It is going to be a battle of attrition, battle of stamina, and battle of who is the best of all South Asia coming here for VALORANT Warfare. Shade.
Yeah, Ascent is going to be the next map coming up, which is Noble Esports' map pick. So considering how Noble played against Reckoning on it, I'm sure they've all seen this award yesterday. Far Esports, they've done their homework. Let's see if they're going to continue to use the Breach. I think the Breach was super effective in their maps yesterday, but we did not see that Breach come online at all here in map number 1. So let's see if they're going to continue to roll with a preset strat, or if they're looking to change things up a little bit to compensate for what happened here in map number 1. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick break. We will be back shortly with the scorecard and the rest of the stats here for map number 1 as we set things up for map 2 on Ascent. This is the grand finals of Playtonia presents VALORANT Warfare. I'm Shades here. That is Icy Baby 1-2. Let's take a quick break. See you folks shortly. Welcome back, everyone. We just witnessed map 1 of the grand finals here at Playtonia presents Valorant Warfare. I'm Shaysaya. Joining me back is IC Baby 1-2. IC, that was a breeze of a map 1 for Noble there.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting one here, considering that they brought out an operator rather early as well as compared to yesterday's semifinals here. Which they used it as an element of surprise down towards the later stage of the game here. But this early operator pickup here from Sammy, allowing to get a couple of ace coming in here, definitely affected the overall morale coming from for esports, and I hope that they will be able to pick themselves up here in game number 2 here, because there was a really huge round coming from Sammy as well, coming from Rexy, who just pulled out a huge rounds here coming in from Noble Esports. But of course, we saw glimpses and moments where Noble Esports was still able to make a comeback here. We can still see the fighting spirits. It's not over yet, okay? It's not over until the entire series is over. Game 2, we're going to be expecting more coming from Noble Esports, but I'm looking forward to see whether or not it's going to be some changes here. But in the meantime here, for those guys watching at home, be sure to like, share, and follow the stream here. Be sure to tag 3 of your friends here, because we are going to be giving away some special goodies for you guys here. If you guys watched the stream earlier and was waiting during the scheduled time, we did announce as well that if you do share the stream and tag 3 of your friends here, we are going to be giving away some amazing gifts randomly for one lucky winner from one of you guys. And at the same time, the voting has begun for the favorite team in this entire tournament here at the Valorant Warfare. So be sure to start voting on Facebook and also on Instagram. And this will only happen all the way up into 9 a.m. tomorrow. And also tomorrow we will be having out the favorite player voting starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. IST only on Playtonia Instagram. So be sure to tag them here who is going to be your favorite player. And as Shade said earlier as well, Sammy might be his favorite player of the pick here.
Yeah, I mean, it is very early in the series. It is a best of 5. And considering how fast that went by, I think it is going to be easy for Far Esports to kind of just put that behind them. You know, just a quick reset, say, hey, that map never really happened. It's a 4-map final. Let's go ahead and concentrate back on Ascent. But before we go there, let's talk a little bit more about Haven as we have a look at the scorecard. We know for a fact Sammy's going to be up top there, coming out, like you said, with an early operator, did get in an early ace as well to kind of set the tempo for the remainder of the map there for Noble Esports. 27-2 with an econ rating of 105, 318 combat score, KPR of 1.18. The important stat there being 6 first bloods. I think Sammy's straight up aggression early round with the Jet, knowing for a fact that he does have Cloud, he has the Tailwind as well to get that early peak and not really get punished for being over aggressive. And the fact that Far Esports do play a lot more spread out in the early round allows for Sammy to push his luck even further. And he was able to get a lot of early pickoffs, setting up the round for the rest of his team IC.
Yeah, I really like this aggression coming from Sammy and Sai as well, even though Sai is on the bottom frag coming from Noble Esports here. But if you think about it here, every single time both of them, they push so aggressively. Far Esports was so paranoid with whether or not are they going to push us when and where, especially coming from A short there. And there were so many times here, they've gotten so many picks here because of this aggression coming from Sammy and Sai. They were still kind of lost here. What do we do against this? Because yesterday's performance here, if you were watching Noble Esports yesterday's performance, whatever happened yesterday's game is pretty much at least 60% of it, you can throw it out the window just because of how MW1 was not playing today. And Sai coming in as a support player, even though I think off the tables, we did mention as well, he's one of the star players coming from Noble Esports alongside Sammy. And he did not fail. You know, for first few rounds, I was doubting him. Hey, Sai, you know, he's not stepping up. But after pulling a big one down towards long with the flashes and also single-handedly buying so much time for the team in the side here, we see that, hey, this guy's got it. And we saw a moment of brilliance coming from Whitehorse as well, coming from Far Esports. But in terms of consistency wise, I think it felt like Noble Esports are the more consistent team in that regards. And I feel like Sammy with the operator and the ace definitely swung a huge mental attack in towards Far Esports. So that's going to be something that they need to overcome, possibly try and reset here, because right now they're going to Ascent. It's a complete different kind of playstyles, and it revolves a lot in mid control, whereas Haven is all about trying to punish rotations here in this regards here. So it's different kind of approach here, and hopefully Far Esports is going to be able to play it to their strength here, which is something that they are comfortable with. Whereas Noble, they picked Haven for a reason. It is a map they are very, very comfortable with as well. So this might be a different outcome, hopefully, for Far Esports, considering that mid control is their specialty, which we did see Far Esports win a lot in the mid control in the previous map in Haven, especially when Noble Esports was trying to defend against B-side. They always concede the entire mid control, and Ascent is a map where you heavily rely on mid control, and hopefully this will help Far Esports in this particular map here, Shade.
Indeed, man. I think also the fact that Whitehorse as well as Knight Rider were the star players for them on Haven yesterday and today, both they were at the bottom of the scorecard. They need them to come online real soon here on Ascent if they are to take that. But before we jump into the map, let's have a look at a couple of the head-to-heads to see how the top players fared for either of these sides here. It's going to be a little skewed considering it was a Noble taking a pretty lopsided win, but Sammy and SMX 20-9, 7 deaths only for Sammy, not really getting punished for over aggressing, and with a 1.18 KPR and 6 first bloods, highly effective early round for a majority of Haven, while SMX was someone who's been coming online, helping, in fact, Far Esports win crucial rounds time and again yesterday, and he does need his teammates to come online as well. And the best way to do that would be to pretty much straight up go guns blazing into Ascent. Put Haven out of their minds here for now. Start getting some momentum in, start getting the juices flowing, and it should set up for a really good map 2 and the remaining of the series here, I see. But I think before we jump into the game, I think we have just a little bit more time to get our predictions in. What do you think is going to happen here on Ascent?
I think it's going to be a close one. Honestly, I think if Far Esports manages to make a comeback in this game here, it's going to be a huge morale boost for the entire team to try and make a comeback into this. But if they lose this game, we might potentially see a 3-0 right off the bat in this entire best of 5 series. And it's all up to Far Esports to make a comeback here. Can they make the impossible here? Because as of now, things aren't looking that great. On statistically wise, things aren't looking that great. But seeing how the final few rounds of performance coming from Far Esports, it feels like they're not given up yet here, because eventually it's still a best of 5 series here. Losing one game, it's okay. It's only Haven. But if they lose this round and make it into 3-0 for Noble Esports, this going to be a huge mental blow. But at the same time, if they make a comeback and take 3-1 right off the bat from this year, that's going to be a huge one here, because as of now, if you drag this into his game 5, where you're going to be facing Noble Esports in Heaven for the deciding match, that's not the most ideal situation you want to be placed in here. So in this case, Far Esports, if they want to stand a chance to win the entire series, they have to take this map. If they do not, things are going to be very, very steam here, especially if they try to make a comeback from the third game onwards here, which is going to be split, followed by Bind, and then Haven from the side of Noble, from the side of Far Esports. So this is a map they cannot afford to lose here if they want to start to make their miraculous comeback here, Shade.
I mean, the veto now looks very heavily skewed in favor of Noble, because Split, a map that we had not seen either of these teams play so far on stream. We did see, however, Far Esports play Bind yesterday, and I think there is a lot that does the bearing of how that match went by had a lot of bearing on why Noble Esports actually picked Bind here in this draft for the finals. They did struggle pretty hard up against Team Exceed. Team Exceed, again, we did see the stats saying 8 out of 12 of the matches they've played have been BO1s on Bind to that map that we did see previously yesterday. So yes, they were sort of like the Bind experts, but I don't think I saw enough from Far Esports there in that map to think, hey, they have it in them to actually overcome Noble here. So that considered, like you said, Ascent is going to be crucial. Noble looked pretty much very comfortable. It seemed like they were on home turf when they did play Ascent yesterday, especially on the defense side, where the operator of MW1 was freely roaming all the way around mid as well as A. We saw him aggressively push through the dark clouds, take those aggressive peaks, shut down pretty much any sort of control coming in from the attackers towards Courtyard as well as towards Catwalk, not to mention his solo holds up at the B site with that operator alone was able to stall and buy time. And with Sai coming in, he's going to be looking to pretty much play on those same lines. A slight difference also being the fact that yesterday as well, Sammy did pick up the operator up on Haven for Noble, but did not do so on Ascent. It was in fact MW1 who played the operator yesterday in map 2. So question is, will we get to see that change here yet again? Will the operator be going into the hands of Sai? Or is Sammy going to say, you know what, you saw that map 1, I'm going to do this yet again?
Yeah, that's the thing, Shade. Like, it's kind of hard to anticipate what they're going to be up to as well, considering that how yesterday's performance, especially from Noble Esports, where MW1 pretty much dumpstered Sammy on the fragging diplomat here. Because Sammy, we've seen him so many times. He's been top fragging for the teams all the time. He's been a very crucial star player in the Valorant community. But at the same time here, MW1 dumpstered him in that second match because he was bottom fragged. Like, MW1 was top fragging for the team here. So maybe, you know, it might be Sammy's weakest maps. I don't know, but it might have been an easy walk in the park for Noble Esports for Game 2 yesterday's semifinals. It's hard to dictate what is going to be happening as well. But seeing how Sammy's performance in Game 1 here, I don't think yesterday's games was really that much of an affecting to him. It is still on fire. He's still the same old Sammy. We have not seen him slow down anytime soon. Even the game that we kind of saw Sammy bottom frag, it's not because he's bottom fragging. It's just MW1 was just killing everybody before Sammy could actually find anybody. So that was a kind of like a inside joke among us where, you know, Sammy couldn't do anything. He's just garbage in Accent. But I don't think it's more like his bad in Accent. It's more like they were so comfortable in Accent where they were just dominating the entire competition here against Team Reckoning. And seeing this game here, hopefully Noble Esports, Far Esports is able to come back from this game. And seeing how Far Esports is performed yesterday here, I'm really looking forward to see if they can keep up the momentum here, because the breach pickup on the agent was really great here. It made a lot of plays here, especially coming in from Shivy, yeah. So Shivy was doing a lot of plays here, but in Game 1, he felt a little bit lost here. He was getting outplayed. I think he got outplayed once or twice by, I think it was Rexy, and it was very tilting, and it's so annoying as well. And we saw a moment where I think it was Shivy he got really mad at Hika from Nova Esports as well, where he killed him in the 2v1 situation. But you can see the frustrations coming in from Nova Esports. Like, they looked a bit lost here. Every time they try to pick themselves up, something happens here. It's always something new with Noble Esports, and the variation of flexibility and randomness and switching up their play styles has been super annoying here. And if you've watched some of the games early on here in game number 1, the first 3 halves we see aggressive pushes from short with Sai and also Sammy all the way through, Sewers all the way through, and then they switched up. putting Sai alone in sewers and sending Sammy all the way in seaside, which kind of switched up their formation time and time again to try and mix it up for Noble Esports, and it's hard for Far Esports to actually anticipate that, especially with the ace on top of the pressure here. So they needed more rounds to actually adapt from the situations here, and that's the beauty about Grand Finals Best of 5, right? It's all about studying your opponent's movements, studying their play style, study their habits, and punish it, which we see time and time again in yesterday's semifinals here. Certain players get punished for their over aggression, especially when it comes to Heaven as well. Oh, this guy, he's the Omen player. He loves pushing to C. Bam, we can catch him off guard. But this time, Cass Far Esports figured out what takes from the side of Noble Esports, because as of now, beautiful performance coming from Rexy, Sammy, and Sai. Hika and Harsh has been there, doing really, really well as very consistently as a support, more like a supportive role. But at the same time, can they punish them? Can they find a way to are they going to dodge Sammy, or are they going to pick him off? Are they going to counter them with a better operator? It's hard to figure out as well, because we did not see too much jiggle picking. We did not see preemptive shots pre-fires coming in from Noble Esports. From Far Esports, whereas Noble Esports has been preemptively engaging on this kind of wall bangs. Even in the garage here, we saw them pushing towards garage. They pre-fired the wall, and they actually catch, I think, one of the Omen players here coming from, the Omen player coming for Far Esports, and he got him so low where they were right off the bat in 5v5, they were already put in a disadvantage here. So getting those tags here, I think with the shock arrow is a great utility here to try and flush them all out. But so far, we did not see SMX's shock arrow do too much in that particular game 1 here, Shade.
Yeah, it hasn't been as effective as it was in the semifinals yesterday. And I think we owe some of that to the fact that Noble Esports have been getting pickoffs early in the rounds time and again. They've been able to keep that operator mobile, moving around, trying to keep Far Esports guessing. And since they do spread themselves out thin early round, it does become very hard for them to turn up with the numbers and ensure they get the trade. And I think that is something that they're going to be looking moving into Ascent, is to try and pinpoint where the operator is at without thinning the numbers down. And keeping the numbers even as they go for the execute is going to give them a far better chance of being able to take the site. I think there were multiple situations where they were pretty much forced into just straight up committing after losing the first player, and pretty much all hell broke loose, and there's very little in terms of what they could have achieved in that current situation. Let's see how the agent picks are going to be at, because of all the three maps that we've seen, three maps you've seen from both the teams so far, Jet, Omen, Sova, Cypher has been constant for both of them. It's been the fifth operator that has changed around. On Haven yesterday, we saw Reyna being picked up by Noble. Today they switch that up and they go with the Phoenix instead. Whereas they did run the Raze yesterday in Ascent. Let's see if they're going to pretty much put Sai on the Raze back again, or do they have a separate strategy planned up, specifically up against the Breach. So the Breach, Sova, Cypher, Omen, Jet has been the constant for Far Esports in the three maps played. At least with what we've seen here in map 1, Breach hasn't been as effective as he was yesterday. Of course, they didn't get to play too much on the defensive side where he was super effective. So let's see if we do see a change up in the draft, but it looks like we are ready to jump straight into the action here. Map number 2 of the grand finals for Playtonia Presents Valorant Warfare, looking at the agents. In fact, Far Esports are going to stick with their tried and tested lineup, and guess what? The Raze is back here for Noble Esports, Icy Baby.
Yep, and Race, you know, it's been a really good run here, especially for Noble Esports. We saw how destructive the Race can be here, especially on Bahika when he played a lot of his nades here. His nades has been on point thus far, especially with zoning out towards A side here, especially long push. But it seems to me Ultimate Orb has been picked up from the side of Noble Esports, going for the offense here, and Scorecard will get picked up from side as he goes through a couple of taps in. Now towards Cat here, Whitehorse overextended, a huge flash comes in, he gets one, he's gonna get another one here, potentially that's gonna be two here from Whitehorse, and he goes for a Cypher case, tries to catch in and buy a little bit of time. Unfortunately, he gets flushed into an overrun here, and now it's gonna be another big here for SMX! Goes in for the push. That's a 2 headshot, and that's gonna be for Esports taking the pistol round. Is this gonna be the comeback here, Jade?
That is exactly what Far Esports needed. Pretty much an explosive start to the round. Sai goes huge there at the beginning. Finds the opener towards shot right there from Catwalk, but they pretty much get dumpstered on. Whitehorse did a fantastic job of holding them for eternity. He even gets a couple of pickoffs there, eventually going down, forced to go for the reload, but they could not punish that aggressive play coming in from Far Esports on defense, and they pretty much shut things down there for Noble on the pistol. We'll see how they respond. It's going to be with a fast play towards the B-side. Whitehorse, is he going to push through? In fact, not needed. He's just going to get a kill regardless here. He's got the pistol in his and she's done. Successfully dropped Whitehorse. The plant comes in, but it is going to be a swift PK for Far Esports there. They lose only the Cypher, and it's going to be a quick duel.
Spike is diffused.
That's a beautiful defense there, but after all, it is an eco round coming from Noble Esports here. It's nothing too much here. They only lose one member for Far Esports, so that's going to be a little bit of chip damage here. Armor's getting taken out. Whitehorse, but he is after all Cypher. Don't need much from him, but he's doing pretty okay for this game here. But I'm really that how the first round went here. Shivi is back. His flash was so on point. Everyone from the side of Noble Esports was pretty much blinded down on Cat. But now coming to the rifle round here, things may be a little bit different here. But meanwhile, Far Esports pulling a far-fetch here. They're getting an Odin and also four quad SMGs here to try and play this. Oh, sorry, okay, Fenton, I bet. Fenton's up on Noble, but quad SMGs on Far Esports. So that's a kind of interesting play here, Shade.
Yep, interesting play indeed. An early scout coming in with the drone. It does manage to spot one of the players out there towards B, Harsh, trying to be a little adventurous here. Do they want to go ahead and challenge this up? That there is Cypher pushing all the way up towards Wine, so they have a potential to double peak this. It is going to be just a bait from Omen. And if Harsh does overextend, he's going to get taken out without a trade potential. But instead, he's just going to play defensive as he finds the opener already, got the headshot, and he just can't find the second. Yeah, finally, Knight Rider does get taken out, and that is going to give them the man advantage. Finally, we do see the push coming through. That is exactly why Harsh was there, to punish over-aggression. Scorecard coming in, trying to go for the punish. SMX with
30 seconds left.
With the numbers to get the first one in. Should be able to break the play down as well. 2v3 still doable here. But isolating these kills and duels is going to be tricky here for Far Esports. They do have utility on the side of Noble as well. The recon will generate at least one. There's the peek back out from Sammy, and that's a quick cleanup of the retake from Far Esports, and Noble get themselves on the scorecard.
Thanks.
That was so greedy coming from Far Esports here, going for SMG buys and forcing the A-race up on Whitehorse, causing him to take a significant amount of economy damage here. He's pretty poor from this round, but at the same time, they will force an operator in this game here. So Noble Esports, they have to be extremely careful here because this is going to be a huge one coming from Far Esports if they catch one with the operator. Meanwhile, I thought they were a little bit greedy coming from Far Esports going for SMG buys, but they did do a little bit of more damage than expected here. But this seems to be the recall bot does scout out where Knight Rider is here, so he needs to back off. So Noble Esports forces him back out towards CT here. Meanwhile, the operator has not been reviewed yet from the side of Far Esports, so they are going to be playing a little bit close call here. as Noble Esports, they are still holding the line. Meanwhile, Scorecard and also the Cypher here is going to be playing towards Cat here, try and catch off any kind of strays, but unfortunately, Noble, they are going to be playing from long, as they are going to be leaking towards the bars here, Shade.
Yeah, not sure they spotted out Cyphers the last time around towards Wine, but they're still going to go ahead and check that. But it's a full-on coming over here towards the B side. Couldn't really get the updraft on, but nice to fight Scorecard with that 3-fighter aim of Night Fighter with the operator. Does reply back. Sandy ends up going down. Control of the Raptors is still going to be with Martin here. Out comes the go from Rexy with top of one. I don't think there's spotted much more there, as he does get backup coming in from the Stover as well. In comes the shock dart, a bit of damage in, but it is still the numbers for these four. A lot of damage taken there by Knight Rider. They're down to 2 HP. Early operator pickup. Do you fall for the same deal right now? Considering how expensive the operator is, but you're losing to almost find the third gun.
One enemy standing. One player standing.
So Harsh able to hold on. It's down to a 1v1. He's got the cam. There's no time for the Jet's got to run away, but he's going to take her down on the exit. Wonderfully played there by Harsh. If he wins that duel with the Classic, that round is done then and there. But the Cypher from Harsh holds on, and it does allow Noble Esports to take the round. And
This is a nice spot.
Oh, that was a really, really close call there, but still fantastic defense coming from Noble Defense to prevent the retake coming from Far Esports here. And I like how they were able to kind of shut out this operator pickup here, which was so deadly, and they tried to save it in the last minute here. But what a beautiful clutch here from Harsh. He managed to finish him off of denying the economy, and that's gonna be a huge blow for Far Esports. Meanwhile, Noble Esports, they can take this round potentially for free here, as Far Esports, they have not much economy to work with here. They force a couple of SMGs here, but Knight Rider is gonna say, you know what, don't worry about economy. I brought a Blade Storm. That's gonna be my rifle for this team here, and hopefully things is gonna work out here, as Knight Rider is looking to go for those kind of long range picks here. Unfortunately, not gonna take any bait here, as Noble Esports is still playing it by the minute here. 1 minute left on the clock. Utilities has been expanded as well. Smokes coming in. Scorecard gonna be laying low onto a scat here. Hopefully he's gonna be able to pick one here, and he hears movements, and nope, he knows where they are. Scorecard is looking to try and go for the pick here, but he won't respect this movement coming in. The Boombot will scout him out and know exactly where he is. He needs to transfer away here. Can he go in? But Hika will pop the nade to try and flush him out. He's gonna get flushed out, and the teleporter is there. He won't dodge it by the minute, but eventually Hika will lines his shot and get the hit shot, and that's gonna be Scarcard taken out, and A side now completely
30
overrun
seconds
here
left
from the side of Noble Esports here. Rider gonna be pushing towards Cat here. Hunter Spirit comes in. Sammy gonna go for the flash. He flashes one, but can he get to connect here? But he gets tagged up a little bit here, but fortunately for him, he's gonna be A-okay, but door is gonna be closing momentarily here, as it's gonna be up to Far Esports for the retake, and it's gonna be a long one here, as considering how far they are away from the site themselves here. As Noble Esports, they're bleeding valuable time as of now. As Far Esports, they may consider to just back off and save this, and it is gonna be the plan here. Meanwhile, Knight Rider, all for nothing with this Blade Storm here. Try to hold his gun, potentially try to go for a pick off. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to find any, and it's gonna be him backing out the fight here, as Noble Esports will take the round for themselves here, Shade.
Yeah, and they managed to hold on to all the weapons as well. Shivy is
oh no, Knight Rider died!
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, that was that was not according to the plan right there, I think.
Tuck.
He had the Bulldog, he had his ultimate, he tried to go for exits, and he died to the plant, and that's gonna be wasted all the way through here. And do they force the operator here, or do they force the Phantom here? Because as of now, Far Esports, they have to deal with the economy here from Knight Rider, and oh, that's gonna be a costly round there coming in from Far Esports. But still, Noble Esports, they gotta be pretty happy about this here. They have the lead, and the timeout here to try and figure out what to do from the side of Far Esports is very, very crucial for them here, because as of now, they had the early 2-0 lead. Now, it's going to be swinging in favor of Noble Esports. On top of that, they've got 3 ultimates available. They have the Hunter's Fury. They have the Blaze-Storm available. They have the Showstopper up on Raze as well. And for Esports, they might be in for a bang momentary here, Shade.
Indeed, man. Noble Esports showed a lot of discipline early round the last time out. Lot of angles covered there. They didn't really rush into Courtyard, but had every single angle either covered off or they had multiple players watching as they slowly inched up ahead towards a link, and that is what got them that early pickoff as well with the numbers. They were able to ensure that there was no one really sneaking around the corner there. Instead, the Raze coming in with the paint shells was able to force out the Omen there into that duel very early on, giving them control of the A site eventually. So for Esports, they need to be wary of this. They need to ensure that Noble Esports are not really able to read the defense early in the round, and they absolutely cannot afford to give away early picks like they did the last time around, I think.
Yeah, and speaking of picks here, currently with the initial operator pickup here on Knight Rider has not worked out for Esports. This is something they have to figure out here because as of now, they've bleed out a lot of economy from that round. And like I said as well, having that Bulldog could have prolonged the life there in terms of economy, maybe even salvage some of the economy in towards the future rounds. But it's still too early to say here because considering that he's died, this is an entirely different story as well. Do they invest for the operator or do they just hope and pray they can win with the rifles here? Because Noble Esports, they are pretty much going to go in with a bang in this round. Do they just force pistols here or do they just catch them off guard? Maybe go in for a half buy to try bait out those ultimates on Noble Esports, but as of now, nothing much here. The round continues here, and it's going to be Noble Esports setting their targets up into his B side here, and you can see the flashes are coming in, immediately pops it off, and it will try to force them out here. Recon will go in, doesn't see anyone though, so they are laying low on towards the edges of the wall coming from Noble Esports as they are creeping in towards the tunnels of B. And this is going to be a huge one here as far Esports. They are not expecting this much aggression here. Meanwhile, they are going to be calling the rotations here. They do hear movements coming in as they are going to be rushing towards tunnels here. But you can see the Scorecard, he does have the darkness here. Gets a couple pick-off coming in here. Shivi gets the knock-in, but Sai won't successfully take the side for themselves here as Octagon Market is going to be exposed here as Knight Rider with the op. Will force it for the team. And hopefully he's going to be able to pick anyone here. But now, White Horse will open exactly with Sai taken out. And that's going to be these neurons tap in the picture as well. They know exactly where all the members here are from the side of Noble as well. They are trapped on the far edge here. And Far Esports, they know where they are. This is going to be a big slaughterhouse. But meanwhile, the defense coming in is going to be enough here as Rexy, Sammy, Scorecard, and White Horse. It's up to Knight Rider now to touch it for the team. He's going to be stopping up the vendor. The operator is there, but Sammy will destroy him. And that's going to be Noble Esports taking the round. Beautiful defense coming in there, Shade.
Indeed, man. Beautiful post-spawn play, but a lot of that came down to Far Esports not really having the necessary information at the beginning of that round right there. They were playing their default 2-1-2, and Jet, who was playing in towards mid Cubby, did not really have any sort of information so as to the whereabouts. The fact that Noble Esports have been playing aggressive towards Courtyard meant that he didn't really venture out too aggressively. If yes, he could have seen an empty mid there alerting towards a B hit, but they had no idea when that came in. They got themselves the early pick off and onto the site. At that point on, it needed a miraculous retake coming in from Far Esports to try and make that happen, and looks like things are not going good yet. Again, they're getting picked one by one, but Shivi, their response back with the Sheriff, a pretty uncharacteristic mix there coming in for Noble Esports, giving away a few loose duels here, allowing Far Esports to actually challenge back with the inferior weaponry, but they still do have the numbers advantage. They have control of the spike, and with Raze right now clearing out the A site, we do expect the spike to rotate back there, and For Far Esports, I think it's a question of right now winning a duel early on,
Spike
trying to
planted.
recover
No
some
more
of these
charges.
weapons, because time is going to be of the essence.
Yep, and speaking of which, I like the punish here coming from side down mid here. He punishes Knight Rider's habits by just holding the angle to his left side of mid here and immediately gets the quick headshot. So that was really nice of him. Meanwhile, Noble Esports on the post plants here, they are trying to get as much kills as possible here. But it seems to me the map control is still in favor of Noble Esports as you can see Far Esports, they have to zone them off. But unfortunately, Hika will take down White Horse and SMX. He needs to back off, but unfortunately, his shoulder was showing and Harsh will pick him on the edge. So that's going to be Noble Esports easy takedown. So that's going to be 5-2 as Far Esports, they are going to lose even more economy as Noble will start to snowball their way through him. But this time, having 4 ultimates available here. And Far Esports, this is not looking good for them here. They are forcing Phantoms all the way through here. Economy is not that great as well. But once again, they're forcing the operator up on Knight Rider again here, Shade. Is that the right call here?
I mean, I believe the operator is going to be the solution here to try and take some of the map control away from Noble Esports very early on, but it is a risky play here. He's only got the 25 shields in, and he's going to go on a hyper aggressive position here. He's just hoping that Noble Esports don't really turn up the numbers here. Harsh has done a fantastic job of holding this entire area down. It was a few rounds earlier where they were trying to play the with the 2 members, and Knight Rider, patience pays off. He's on the jet though, pulling off exactly what Sammy was doing to them the last time around, but he gets baited in as Sai peeks out at the absolute perfect time. They get the 2 pickoffs, they've got the numbers back in 3-3.
Spike planted.
But Shiggy is ready here for the counter play. The showstopper into the corner finds Scorecard, but not before he's able to take it down. So it's still down to a 2v2. They're playing as far and he's popped up the gun barrel, but he can't get an immediate kill inside. Do they want to challenge up? Yes, they do. Towards the window, Rexy with the 2K, and things are going from bad to worse here for Far Esports on Ascent.
I swear, I have no idea what was going through the minds of Far Esports, because as of now, that was the scariest Osama bin Laden in his life, because right on his face, the showstopper came in, destroyed him. Oh, that's gotta be a really, really scary one here, because there was no way he could react in time here. He was caught out in the choke spot. Just pretty unfortunate for Scargod, I believe. And yeah, Scargod getting completely obliterated here. But meanwhile, Noble Esports still have not forced out too much ultimates yet here. They still have basic necessities, but it's pretty much nothing that Far Esports needs to worry about here, as considering that the ultimates doesn't bring too much value into his team fights here. But overall, in terms of reconnaissance, it does bring a little bit more utilities here. So getting those kind of kills is going to be a crucial factor here from the side of Far Esports. Can they build up the economy once again here? Because Noble Esports, they've been steamrolling this entire game here. Will they continue? And look at this. They don't even have enough utilities working here from Whitehorse. And the Cypher's case still being held on to the last spin here as a last valiant attempt here. In this case, Whitehorse going to be creeping out towards here. Can he get a pick off? Nope. He misses the headshot. Heika
I know exactly
dodging the hit here with the crouch. Unfortunately, will pick off Scargod. So that's going to be Noble Esports taking the Cypher himself, and Far Esports
Spike
on
planted.
the retake. Now with the boom bot, trying to flush them out towards Haven. And nothing much is going to be contested here. As Far Esports, they have to back up. Do they want to contest this? I don't think they can here. They have to bail complete here, Shade.
Yeah, the way the economy is right now, they absolutely have to bail. These retakes have been not really successful for Far Esports previously, and they'd rather hang on to the weaponry given the current situation. And with Noble Esports running away to a 5-round lead early on in map number 2, things are starting to get very tricky here for Far Esports. Again, they're trying to respond back with early round aggression, but they just can't seem to get those pickoffs. They just can't seem to get these duels going their way. But SMX, coming up massive there with the 2K there. Athene not only getting the save in, but able to relieve Noble Esports of a couple of rivals there as well. Sitting well on top on 9-5-1. Scorecard will pretty much have to do with the Spectre alone as well as Whitehorse. So their economy is on the back foot heavily here as Noble Esports slowly but surely, after a slightly slower start as compared to map 1, they're getting back in the groove, and this seems like a scoring we've seen previously, Icy Berry.
Oh no, Sai, he gets clipped with the Hunter's Fury as well. He's gonna be A-okay. Tags up a little bit here. Unfortunate to say, but at the same time, very over-aggressive confidence here coming from Noble Esports to try and hunt them down here. It gets heavily punished from the previous round. Meanwhile, for Esports, they are gonna be playing a little bit slow here as Noble Esports is gonna be creeping in towards the B tunnels once again here. As you can see, Knight Rider and also the Preach Shivy is gonna go for a pincer attack, but Shivy is not covering here. He looks around. Knight Rider gets the punish, and he's gonna back off. Knight Rider is gonna immediately retaliate here. Meanwhile, the couple of counter flash are coming in, but guess what? Sai has crept in so far deep into his mid side, and they will get an easy 2 hit, and it's all up to Knight Rider going for the cut, and he gets a headshot. But look at this, he's so low, he needs to make a run for it here, but he's made his movement. They know exactly where he is, and that's gonna be Rexy dropping the spike here, but Sai will eventually clutch a 3K in this round here, Shade.
Yeah, that was, again, aggression early round coming in from Noble Esports. They take the numbers to allow Sai to actually not only take control of Courtyard, but to advance all the way to Pizza in Market. And for Esports, despite getting the one pick-off up at B main, they immediately try to take back mid control, only to say, hey, there are multiple players from Noble Esports in this region. They had lost it so early. The fact that the players in B were pincered forever. And I think Noble Esports, strategically, they've got a nailed down. Far Esports, their defense is getting split apart and picked one by one. And Scorecard here, going with the numbers again, I think aggression is something that they've fallen back on time and again as a response. But I know Whitehorse, he does get the deny in on the spike. The new attack comes out in Noble. I think they should be able to recover back and get the plant in safely here. But for Esports, aggression, they're almost paying off, but looks like it is the same story over again. Sign back. Knight Rider all alone in a 1v2. Jet is pretty low here, and does to get the clutch. Okay then.
What a clutch there coming from Knight Rider. He dashed in forward here, and instead of going, setting his crosshairs up on towards the race here, he ran up forward here to try and dodge initially 3 bullets from the race and got the win here. So this early aggression has been great, and there was a huge round there coming from Whitehorse there. Like, he jumped in, denied the bomb plant, and managed to pop his Neurotech before he died, giving all the information from the side of Far Esports to actually retake the site and not worry about checking every single corner here. So that was beautiful play there coming from Whitehorse to assist here, but with one round back into this year, is it gonna be enough? Because this first half is gonna be its last half for both these teams here. So economy is not gonna be a huge factor here. But look at this aggression coming in from Sai here from No Equals. They are immediately pushing towards each side. Sai lurking around, looking for the kills. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to find anyone. But instead, Rexy's Hunter's Fury will catch off Scorecard instead. And that's gonna be immediately a 5v3 situation. Showstopper comes in. SMX, he needs to be careful here because the Showstopper is coming in. But nope, not gonna be connecting any one player here. As a Noble Esports are gonna be going in for the push here. Meanwhile, it's gonna be up to Far Esports going for the retake. SMX, they will stack a catch up on Sai, and Sammy is going for the pick here. Looks like a double pick coming in. That's gonna be him down, and it's all up to Knight Rider to go in for the clutch. But the Neuro tap, they catch him. They know where he is. He needs to run for his life, but Harsh will catch him off guard. As Noble Esports overrun the fantastic 9-3 in this first half.
Noble pretty much going back to their roots, their fast play, early round, perfect usage of abilities there, setting up side to push in all the way from A main up towards, I believe that was the end of A link, and pretty much forces the Omen who's holding that region straight back out towards mid, and there was the numbers dwindling in as well with Noble Esports getting in two pickoffs very early in the round, and that retake never really saw the light of day there. Fast plays from Noble Esports. They know what Far Esports have to offer at this moment, and unless we see a drastic change in play, which Far Esports are trying out, they're trying to answer with their aggression, but they're pretty much doing this blindly. They have absolutely no clue. They're trying to play the guessing game, and the guessing game just isn't working out for them so far. Noble Esports kept themselves, all 5 members, onto the A side yet again. They kept the spike plant in, and they're going in with the pistol. It's gonna be the pick-off here, 1 by 1. Shibby in the corner, the paint just coming in and gonna find him pinned into the wall. The numbers that they get is she's gonna go charging in the reload out in the open, and Hika down to a 1v1. The paint shell is gonna force them out, and he forces them out into a duel there. Scorecard couldn't do much, and the defuse comes in. Ooh! Oh, did we see the BN there coming in? Double digits for Noble, but
oh, the teabags. Oh, that was a huge round from Hika here. He flushed them all out with the nades. That was beautiful, beautiful play there coming from Hika. Like, they weren't expecting this at all, this aggression. But at the same time, a great attempt here coming from Far Esports to actually retake take the side here. But at the same time, I like Noble Esports' decision. They immediately conceded the whole side here. They won the numbers advantage here, and they went in for the retake. And just as how game 1 began, they were stronger playing on the offense here, and it worked out for them. And this time, Hika will have the SMG for them here, and they will get the pick off onto White Horse. And it's gonna be on the defense here, as the ultimate point is gonna be heading towards Far Esports in this regards, and they are trying to charge up ultimates here, but what a wheel can they do here? Because as of now, Sammy will pick them Shibby off, and that's gonna be a spike dropped onto his A side as they try to fake towards B side all by themselves. But Sammy, oh, that's gonna be pretty unfortunate here for Shibby as he tries to go for the bomb plant, but no one takes the bait, and that's gonna be a huge slaughterhouse down towards short.
Yeah, it was pretty much Noble continuing their momentum here, 11-3. This is looking pretty dire here for Far Esports. It's pretty much a repeat of what we saw previously on Haven here. It's been Far Esports who did pick up the first 2 rounds, but it's been the Noble train ever since. And the start of the second half, they absolutely needed that pistol there, but a wonderful retake coming in from Noble Esports. The clutch there at the end, I think, is pretty much the final nail in the coffin, at least for Ascent. But looks like we're going to see an early rotate back out from side towards mid. The spring in to the Dark Cloud there. Not going to find anyone out just yet.
That's just so unfortunate there. But meanwhile, Noble Esports, they are in the lead here. Far Esports, they have to start to pick up some teams here. They have those rifles, but at the same time, side, they're holding on towards Spectres here. And Night Rider gets shut down from side. And now here comes the showstopper. Immediately, Noble Esports, they are going to give chase, but everyone from side of Far Esports just runs away. They completely running away, but Hika eventually catches off Scorecard once again, 2 in a row. And he's going to get another one here. And somehow Noble Esports managing to win with the SMGs, as it's gonna be him last man standing here coming from Far Esports with well, that's gonna be him out of the picture potentially here, because SMX, he's gonna get hunted down, and he goes down as well as Hika gets a triple huge kills coming from Noble Esports, and they are gonna be one of the ones to take match point here, Jade.
Well, yeah, that is 9 match points coming up for Noble Esports. Another flawless show here on Ascent. I think we kind of expected Ascent to go this way even before the start of the series. But having seen how Noble Esports played in map number 1, I think it kind of was an even bigger reassurance. Far Esports had to do something drastically different. Props to them, they did attempt a few aggressive plays to try and catch off Noble Esports, but didn't really see too much success, and the story pretty much just continues again. An early pickoff with the operator, drops one. Looks like Hika's gonna find White Horse as well. Knight Rider
No charges left.
pretty much keeps Far Esports in this, but Sammy's gonna come pushing in through that block, and the operator going big here from Sai. Can he close things out? He's playing up in the high.
Defenders win.
Signature finish there with the operator from Sai, 13-3. Map number 2 in the bag as well after taking map 1 on Haven, 13-4. This looks like the grand final is heavily skewed at the moment, I see.
Yeah, this is really tough here, considering that how Hika was also popping off in that game here with the Raze. That definitely caught them off guard because he was able to zone them up so hard with the showstopper, with the nades as well, and it was so hard for Far Esports to actually back out of the situations as well. Each time they make a play, there's always something that's happening here, and I like how that Noble Esports was very, very confident in those rounds here. They overly, they played it so aggressive so many times here. They got a little bit confident and got punished for it here. And even so, you can see that they kept their composure. They were not tilting. They were just trying to flex here, try and get a little bit of information to work with. And it came down to a battle of information here. And also, for Esports, it seems like by the time second half went here, they seem to have lost their steam or morale here. They seem a little bit lost. Even the play where Shivi tried to fake the plant, which was supposed to work, but he went a little bit too far off. And it's just unfortunate to see that actually happen here, because that round might have just completely tilted the entire team here, because Shivi thought the entire team was pushing onto his B side. He went in for the push on A side. Guess what? Sammy was lurking in the shadows all by himself, sees a random Shivi running out in the open. What are you doing here? And he gets picked off. And ever since that, you can see that everyone from the side of Far Esports was pretty much shocked, surprised, or at a disarray from that moment here. And hopefully things will be a little bit better now. And hopefully they'll be able to pick themselves here in game 3 here. But nevertheless, great run here coming from Noble Esports, 2-0. Very, very convincing round there from Noble Esports. And I'm looking forward to see if they can take the clean 3-0, or will Far Esports make it interesting for us and pull a miraculous comeback, making it to 5 games in a row here, Shade.
Yeah, Noble Esports do lead 2, and Far Esports need the full reverse sweep if they are to take the final and eventually lift the title here at the Playtonia Presents Valorant Warfare. I'm Shiz here. That is ICBaby12. Let's take a quick ad break. We'll be back shortly with the stats for map number 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just witnessed map 2 ascent of the grand finals here for Playtonia presents Valorant Warfare, and it's been the story of Noble Esports so far, the freight train that Far Esports have absolutely no answers for here. 2 maps, 13-4 on Haven and now 13-3 on Ascent. It was just a one-way traffic from start to finish. I think Noble did start off playing a lot more disciplined, playing a lot more slower early rounds on attack, and once they start picking up that momentum, we saw Sai just go absolutely huge that entire map from start to finish there, and it was pretty much poetic that he's the one to seal things off there with the operator there at the end. Far Esports, though, do they have the answers? I see. Can they turn things around here in map 3?
It's super tough to predict what's going to be happening here, especially when Noble Esports has right on a really strong momentum coming from both games as well. We saw brilliance coming from Sammy all the time, but I think game number 2, the one that really stood out for me was none other than Hika. He really stepped up in that game. We saw brilliance coming from Rexy, but game 2, Hika was the one that really stepped it up for the team here. He made so much space for the entire team to actually make those kind of plays here. Sammy was playing the right role as an Omen, but as a playmaker for Raze here, which oftentimes in the previous patch, known as one of the hardest, most so-called useless agent in the meta back in the days. But now, seeing how that is pretty much balanced the way here, and if you understand the mechanics of how to play the race properly here and abuse it, in this case, making space for the team and taking control of sites while pushing very aggressively, which Hika has done it very beautiful for the team here. It caused Far Esports to just back off. And like I said, back in the days, Sage was one of the most popular picks for a reason here. Entry denial, blocks all these things here. And now seeing how the Sage has been nerfed here, it's just unfortunate that it's nerfed to a point that people just don't pick it here. And I feel like the Ice Wall still brings a huge value into this team fight here. The slow orbs do bring a lot of value in this competition here. I'm really looking forward to see if they pick the Sage here. But unfortunately, no teams has picked any Sage thus far. No Killjoys also thus far, which is pretty much really unfortunate. But at the same time, it's so hard to play around Killjoy just because of how much utility works here. The Cypher is still gonna be bringing more value in terms of the Cypher cage, in terms of the tripwires, in terms of the spy camps here. But nevertheless, here I'm looking for to see something different on Split. Hopefully, things are going to be a little bit different here. Considering that Split is so split off, is the reason why it's called Split, right? 2 different maps, but it feels like there's 3 sites here, and having both bomb sites split in between here, I think the Sage is going to be a very important agent to be played in this map, if and only if they go for it here. Just because if they lose that mid control and either side leaks here, it's super hard to actually try and defend this or call in the reinforcements here for this map. So hopefully things are going to be for the better for Far Esports, but at the same time, it is Noble Esports pick for game number 3 here. So we finally have a breath of fresh air, a new map to witness, and hopefully things are going to be different here. But as of now, let's take a look at the stats from game number 2 here on what happened between Noble Esports and also Far Esports here, Shade.
Yeah, let's have a look at that scorecard. Sai is going to be up top there, 20-12-2. No surprises. Yesterday, it was the Raze from MW1 on Ascent. Today, it is Sai who just absolutely takes control of the entire map there. Absolute map control from start to finish, keeping that operator mobile, was getting a lot of pickoffs early. Hika stepped in massive as well. At the end, 17-10-4, Harsh, Sammy, and Rexy all chiming in at the end to make it a comfortable 13-3. Knight Rider did go massive compared to his performance on Haven earlier. Stepped up big there along with SMX and Scorecard, but I think at the end of it all, they're still not able to win those all-important duels. They're not able to stop Noble Esports from taking site control very early on. The duels that they're winning pretty much most of these have come at a point where the round is already lost, and I think a lot more unpredictability is what Far Esports needs here at Split, because at the moment Noble have got the read on what Far Esports are doing, and I'd say at this point of time, it's even worth looking at a complete switch up with the agents they're picking. They've got absolutely nothing to lose at this point of time. I don't think the breach has done enough in the 2 maps so far. Maybe you just change the one agent, or maybe you just straight up go ahead, like you said, as maybe the Sage that you want to look at as well here for this map specifically. And once you get the momentum rolling, you pretty much stick with that for the maps to come ahead. But this is their map pick at the end of the day here for Far Esports. So I do expect them to be a lot more comfortable on this as compared to Ascent. But before we talk a lot more about that, let's have a look at some of the head-to-head stats here for map number 2 on Ascent. We did get to see quite a lot of early duels go out. Noble, in fact, with Sai just charging through for those early picks. We saw him just straight up pushing through dark clouds, pushing through clouds, absolutely fearless. And he did have a lot of support coming in from the rest of his team as well, with utility to allow him to play hyper aggressive, and we've seen that converted into a lot of kills here. 20 kills, 1.25 KPR, 7 first bloods. That's massive, especially when you're committing a lot early round. You do need to get the first blood. You do need to get map control if you're using that much utility at the beginning, and Sai has delivered massive for them in that front. Knight Rider finally comes online. He would have been disappointed with how things played out on Haven, but I think on an individual front, he's done a fantastic job. 15 kills in, almost a 1 KPR, 3 first bloods. But like I said, Valorant, you do need your teammates to chime in as well. It is a team sport. Unless you're able to react together and keep map control, which they haven't been able to do so far, I think Noble will continue to dominate if things don't change quickly here on Split. What do you say, IC?
That's the thing, right? Like, you just based on these 2 maps, you can see Noble Esports is so far ahead in terms of their strategy. They pretty much planned up their play styles for each particular map here, especially on Ascent here, which we saw a huge change, especially coming from Noble Esports, especially from yesterday's game. Sammy stood out the most. He swapped to an Omen, which made him towards a bottom fragging hero agent, which now in this game as well, we saw him switch to Omen. Yeah, he wasn't fragging as much, but they understood that each player in their team, you can see that they're more composed, they're more concise on what they know, and they have pretty much rounded up their weaknesses here. Like, for example, I think Sammy, they needed an Omen agent in that particular map, and nobody else has played an Omen. Sammy sacrifices his role, passing the jet into a side, and they delivered here. So I like how flexible they are from side Noble Esports to be switching Sammy around between both a supportive role and both as an entry fragger here. In this case, he playing the Omen was very underwhelming. Not because he's not fragging, but at the same time, it may look like it was underwhelming. He's not performing, but for me, I feel like he played the most important role in the team here, because even though as a support, yes, he may not be the flashiest player, but taking a back seat just to make sure that the team wins, getting the job done as a support is way much more important than everybody gets high kill volume. You getting the most kills in every single agent is pretty much physically impossible. The game just is not designed to do that for you, unless you are hacking, aim assist, cheating, you're a Radiant player stomping on bronze, Radiant player stomping on silver, Radiant player stomping on gold, Radiant player stomping on plat, Radiant player not stomping on diamond, then that's still possible. But even so, getting top frag on every single agent is logically, physically impossible, especially in this kind of competitions. So I like how Noble played it in game 2 here, making Sammy take a backseat here, fulfilling what the team needs to be done here, which is getting that Omen player, the Omen pickup, which both teams also prioritize having the Omen. Just that when it came down to execution, Noble Esports definitely played it much, much better. So hopefully in Split, I'm not sure what kind of agents is going to be picked up here. I'm really looking forward to see the Sage or a Killjoy, which we have not seen for quite some time at all, actually. But at the same time, we are going to be expecting the Phoenix pickups here for both these teams potentially, just because of how much value he actually brings on Split as well with the Firewall as well as the Incendiaries here. I don't think we will see a Brimstone in this map, which also can be a great factor here if you are going to be playing the utility game. Cypher is still going to be 100% pick from both the teams. He's going to be something that we're going to be watching about as well. But before that, I think we have the overall scorecard, I believe. Or is it the overall PvP to compare here, Shade?
We have the overall scorecard coming up next here to see how the stats look like collectively from the first 2 maps played out on Haven and on Ascent. We're going to have SMX on 20, Knight Rider on 20 as well. Scargot on 19 kills, White Horse on 13, Chivy on 11 with 0.61 being the highest KPR for the side of our esports. While on for Noble, we have Hika on top with 33 kills. I think consistency over the 2 maps is something that Hika has always shown us a 1 KPR. Sai and Sammy chiming in with 31 and 30 kills as well. Those 3 guys have been absolutely explosive. Not to forget Harsh and Rex as well. We're seeing the first 3 are explosive. There's 27, 23, 50 kills between Harsh and Rexy alone. And I think at the end of the day, the stats just say the story of how the first 2 maps have played out. It has been the Noble Esports show so far. And unless we see Far Esports switch things up quite a bit from how they've played in the first 2 maps, we might just get to see a swift end to the grand finals. Let's quickly have a look at the overall player head-to-head stats as well to see how the top players from each side are faring so far. So I do believe we will get to see the consistency of Hika here for Noble Esports up against SMX, who pretty much did top frag the previous map as well, if I'm not mistaken, and he's going to continue to do so here in Ascent. And overall, sitting on 20 kills, 33 for Hika, 4 first bloods with a 1 KPR, 8 assists chiming in as well. Far lesser number of deaths. So he's not only been able to consistently frag, but he's been able to do so without trade potential for Far Esports. And I think kills like that, eventually we've seen so many rounds come down to a 3v3, a 4v4, a 3v4, a 2v1, even 1v1 on a couple of occasions. And Hika not only getting the frags, but keeping his life intact in most of those situations has given them the numbers advantage, has enabled Sammy and Sai to play hyper aggressive, knowing for a fact that they've got a lot of firepower behind them as well, IC.
Yeah, I like how SMX has been one of the very, very consistent player coming from Far Esports as well. Throughout the entire qualifiers as well, his stats has not lied here. He's been fragging a little bit here. He may not be the top fragger here, but every single kill he was involved to a certain degree, where his assist plays a huge role in those kind of team fights here. But hopefully things will be turning for the better here, because why? We might see the potential last game in this best of 5 series here, but we are going to be jumping into game 3, where Noble Esports has the lead with 2-game advantage here. And also Far Esports going to be potentially making a comeback here if they can here. It's going to be the first round and the pistol rounds right off the bat here with Noble Esports on the defender side here. And look at this, Hika, very aggressive pick here, immediately catch a— on towards A side here, Shade.
Well,
B side.
that was pretty much the race just warming up there. Gets the paint shell, drops the boom bot, only to get a face full of lead there early round, and the numbers advantage. Noble Esports again playing hyper aggressive on the defense side. I get faced on, but he wins the first kill.
One player remaining.
As well, and now Jimmy's in absolutely no man's land, surrounded by the entirety of Noble Esports, and the pistol goes to the defenders 1-0. VAR Esports get caught off with the swift play there towards Beaming.
That should not have happened for Noble Esports. Like that. I think that Jet should not have survived that at all. His crosshairs was not even aimed at, I think it was one of the Cypher players, the Cypher coming from Fire Esports. Who was it again playing again this time? Okay, I can't see it, never mind. Yeah, so I was like, it was just, I did not expect that to happen at all, but still great round coming from Noble Esports. Great shot coming in, but Harsh now going to be playing a little bit safe here. Meanwhile, Hika will be lobbing the nade onto the main here, and it's going to be a huge spray down for Hika, and that's going to be a triple. Sai gets the fourth, bro. No ace for you, and Hika looking for the quads, and he will not get it. SMX denies it, and it's going to be Harsh to clean it out for them, and Noble Esports takes 2-0. Yeah. As I was saying early on as well, Sai should not have survived in game 1. But look at this replay here. Beautiful execution. Drops the nades, sees the paranoia coming in, immediately denies them, gets the kill. Very, very nice start. Nicely done here coming from Hika here, Shade.
Yeah, the paint shells there. Absolute value. Connects in onto 3 at the entry. As Far Esports are just looking to get the numbers in towards the B side, overwhelm them, try and recover a few of these SMGs, but not to be the case. They were ready with the counterplay, and looks like it's going to be aggression again from Noble towards A-Long this time around, but that has allowed Far Esports to actually sneak up towards B Tower and take control. Scorecard even manages to drop Harsh here. That's information taken away. Sammy's blocked out right now all the way at Ali. He does have backup coming in from Rexy as well, and with the breach, they might just be able to quickly take back the site here. FMX trying to re-smoke Ali back out again. He successfully managed to do so, but that's a big pick-off here as White Horse ends up going down towards mid. Does keep the numbers back equal parts. Turning back across, and next crucial play here, and with Chivy dropping Sammy, that should be Far Esports getting themselves on the scorecard.
Wow, Far Esports, what a big play there as well here, and they immediately punish Noble Esports over aggression here. Like Hika was pushing all the way 8 there, and we saw that. I think it was White Horse who was pretty much just taking a chill pill, waiting outside, just all by himself, hiding behind the corners here, and he gets a freebie right there. So that's going to be a big round here for Far Esports, considering that it was kind of like an eco round for them. So that's going to be a major pickups for them here. But look at this Shade. Sai will be pulling the big guns here as the operator's going to be pushing down mid. And this is going to be an aggressive push. Can he get the pick? Yes, he will. Knight Rider gets taken out, but he's going to be caught out open here. But looks like he wants to be a little bit aggressive here, try to get a second pick. He misses the shot, but he still has the dash. A pop flash comes in, but Hika will finish the job here. But look at this. The boom bot is there. The counter flash comes in from Far Esports, but no retaliation whatsoever. They've lost 2 members, and this operator proves to be a force to be reckoned with. Can he get another one? He misses the shot. A close call there coming from Far Esports, but now Scorecard will back off. The spy cam dot will connect the dot, and they know where he is. As you can see, White Horse is gonna be the one to force Scorecard back and making a run for this year, as Far Esports will back off from that fight here. Can he get it? Yes, he will. That's going to be Sai getting a 2 big ones with the operator, as Far Esports is up to a 2v4 situation. As you can see, Scorecard does have the spike. They have to make it work here. They have the Cypher Cage and the Race available here, but not much utilities here to try to retake the site. They might think about saving this here, but Scorecard is creeping up towards mid. Will he pick
30 seconds left
with the operator here? But Hika is in the vicinity to try and protect him here. But looks like he will jump over, try to go and catch here. But no, not going to be happening here. Hika will shut him down. But no, he's going to be straight off here from White Horse. But Sai has been waiting for the right moment to strike. And he pounces, and he bounces, and he takes him out. and that's gonna be Noble Esports taking 3-1 here, Shade.
Well, the operator comes online in style there from Sai, going in for the early peak, but supported wonderfully there by Hika as well on the raise. He always had the backup ensuring that Far Esports couldn't really commit with the numbers, cut the distance down to that operator, allowing Sai to not only get that opening pick, but just rinse and repeat, repeat time and again without really having the threat of Far Esports picking them out. Goes to early pick yet again. Knight Rider wants to silence them out and he catches them just before the cloud goes off. That is what they need to do. Far Esports here. Play unpredictable, punish aggressive plays from the side. Wasn't possible the last time around, but here they strike gold and looks like they're hitting the numbers one by one here. It's the round is pretty much gone out of their grasp here. They've lost 3 and might be even thinking about an early save here as Hika has recovered the operator here for Noble Esports.
Yeah, smart call there coming from Noble Esports, and this is a round that Far Esports need here, and they managed to take that round. And on top of that, they've got 4 ultimates here, but this time going for the save is going to be a smart call here, and it's going to be a consolation prize for Hika if he gets a couple picks with this operator, because this operator is going to be so much value for Noble Esports. In this case, look at this, they're playing a little bit slow here. Far Esports, they're going on the hunt, but seems to me knives are up on the Omen here, as he's going to be creeping around here, and if he runs into the crosshair of Hika, things are going to go south here, but he comes out, misses the shot. Hika is going to go for the repeat once again here, but does he see him? Because as of now, they know exactly where he is, and the operator is there. He's going to smoke him up. The paranoid comes in, but doesn't connect, and he needs to run. He has a showstopper, but he needs to make a run for it here. Meanwhile, Hika is going to back off. They are going to give chase. Can he get hit? No, he cannot. Looks like they will prioritize on saving the operator here. Noble Esports knows when to extend and back off, so that's gonna be disciplined plays coming from Hika. Beautiful stuff coming from Noble Esports here, Shay.
Yeah, he knew that he had the blast pack available if things got a little too sticky there, and that he was able to make his way out despite
right there.
re-peeking back rather up against Omen there towards screens, and he manages to keep the operator in play back onto the hands of Sai. This time aggression towards B main. There's no one really peeking in just yet. They did manage to punish the Rays last time around, but he's gonna peek. From Rexy towards I managed to get one kill on with the operator there. White House continues to push in all the way back towards Ali and drops Hika.
Spike planted.
So aggression does give them control of the site here and the numbers advantage. Noble, do they want to commit in here? Both players coming in from Ali. Right now, the Dark Cloud is keeping them at bay. SMX has the operator here, and Noble. What's up here? Do you commit? I think they're going to spend some time to see if maybe they can get one pick off early round, but looks like they're not even going to spend time doing that. A lot of time has ticked on the spike, and Noble will be back on the save. Far Esports aggression again pays off. Looks like they might have just found their salvation here on split. Can they keep things going though is the question I see.
Yep, it seems to me Rexy almost catching all of the players here. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to connect here. But at the same time, this is going to be a pretty close one here, Shade. Because as of now, Game 3, I did not expect this at all. But Far Esports, they are going to be making a miraculous comeback here. Because Noble Esports, they seem to have flexed a little bit too much. And unfortunately, I'm surprised Far Esports, they dropped the op. They opted to drop the op and take a Phantom instead here. So seems to me there is not going to be any more operators from both sides of the teams here. They do not want to risk it coming from Far Esports. But as of now, this is looking good for Far Esports because we see 4 spies coming in from Noble Esports. Well, not really 4 spies, half spies coming in, and they will pop Shivi's skill concussion there. But as of now, they are going to be looking for those kind of kills coming from Far Esports, hoping to get a couple pickoffs. But unfortunately, the whole side will be taken down from the side B here. Sammy going to be lurking up towards Cat and potentially get a couple picks here. Spy Cam does seem nothing as of now, but
Spike
the boom bot
planted.
is going to be revealing here down to the Suicide, and Suicide is pretty much going to be exposed here. But here comes the rolling thunder here. Side Wolf pop, the Blind Stopper doesn't seem to connect. Scorecard catches Sammy with the Showstopper, so that's going to be a huge one here. Hutch will pick up Scorecard as well. Noble going to be lurking out to the Suicide, going to get a pick here. They are going to be defending from main here. Meanwhile, the flashes are coming, the stages as well. But White Horse catches
enemy
one.
remaining.
Arch going to go down, but Science goes for the trade-off, and Far Esports gets shut down, and Noble Esports somehow manages to retake there. So many utilities expended, and they bought them the room that they needed to creep in towards the side here. Beautiful stuff coming from Noble Esports, and I'm surprised they stacked up 2 in Suicide, and that was something that Far Esports did not expect as well, considering that Suicide is a spot that is suicidal, Shane.
Yeah, the stack towards mid there from Noble Esports, pretty much leaving the B side wide open. Far Esports had the absolute best case scenario. They decide to hit B very early. They walk into an empty site, they shut it down. But I think their undoing was the fact that the Showstopper actually found absolutely nothing, allowing Noble to go in for that retake, not only able to get the couple of kills early on, but to recover the rifles as well, allowing them to eventually take out the entirety of Far Esports there at the end. The finish with the Sheriff, and Noble Esports sneak around that they had no business winning in the first place.
Cover going out.
Meanwhile, it's going to be Far Esports going to be playing a little bit slow here. Meanwhile, Sai will still pull in the operators here, but he does find a small window to work with. He needs to be careful, but instead, Sai did not expect him to pick from bottom here as SMX catches him off guard. So that's going to be a big run here for him. He got still looking with. He lets one in. He's going to stay, but he wins the shot. And that's going to be White Horse punishing him here. It almost seemed to be a great moment for him, but meanwhile, Far Esports, they continue the aggression here. Noble Esports, they're getting kicked left, right, front, and center. Sammy tries to cut for the double kill. He almost gets the triple one. Right on the Noble Esports pick. Now it's going to be 1v1. Harsh will take him down, but Harsh will finish off all the members from the side of Far Esports, and that's going to be Noble Esports going for the punch. And Hika, whoo! He almost lost it for the team, but guess what? There is still Harsh in the vicinity here, Shade.
So messy there from both teams, but Noble Esports saw a couple of individual plays there coming in massive. First from Sammy, he was completely surrounded on that B side. There was absolutely nowhere for him to go. Instead, he just decides and takes the fight head on. He gets 2 before he eventually gets overwhelmed, setting things up for Harsh to come in and clean up. Far Esports were not ready there to get stalled as much as they did just to get Sammy there initially. And the Kika just continues to put on the pain here for Far Esports as in the early pickoffs yet again. It's been Far Esports who've been getting quite a few early pickoffs. They seem to have worked out that change so far, but the story still continues as Noble Esports find their way back into a couple of rounds, and they're able to restore back some sense of normalcy here with the early pickoff. Still, mid-control goes the way of the attackers here. Hika playing very defensively all the way back towards their blast back out, and Hika is going to get blinded here for a second. No reason for him to come in. I think they're going to still go ahead and use a little bit more utility to try and take control of tower. Nothing so far. Noble more than happy to play ultra defensive in this area, allowing a lot more real estate.
30 seconds left.
Despite Noble having the numbers advantage, that White Horse does get a huge kill there, leveling the numbers up. And now I do feel it is advantage for Esports here as the attack comes towards the side, all the way back up. And Ali is in 2 players up, but it's a big whiff. He cannot find a single kill there. Wesley, is he going to continue to push through?
10 seconds left.
They don't see the player behind. That could have been the topic to get the fight content. Comes down to a 2v3 on the retake. Scorecard is up on Raptors, and Hika finds Shini, leveling the numbers up. There's the paint shell in towards the Cubby. I don't think that's going to connect in, but is he going to be ready for a player up at Raptors here? Are they going to be able to connect that? He won't just get, and Night Rider's got a field day here with Scorecard cleaning up things for Far Esports with hang on.
Clinical finisher coming from Far Esports here. They played it to the beat, yeah. They forced out so many utilities coming from Noble Esports before taking the final 30 seconds here. Because of that, they were able to retake the site very convincingly here. But great offense coming forward this season, and this is the Far Esports that I've been waiting for since game number 1. And game 3, they're making it interesting here. 5-4. Can they make a miraculous comeback? That's gonna be my question here, Shade, because as of now, Noble Esports, they have the ultimates available. They have the work. They have the means to work with here. But at the same time, they are going to be forcing a couple small buys here. So sheriffs are going to be coming in the way. So for Esports, they are going to be trying to tie the score in this game 3. But can they make it happen? Because they do have a huge margin of advantage now from this round. And having this tactical pause coming in here, they need to figure out what's going to be next plan here. Because Noble Esports, they weren't expecting this aggression coming from Far Esports. They've somehow reset it from game 1 and game 2, and they are finally playing like they're playing for the biggest tournament of their lives here, Shade.
Yep, Far Esports have done a fantastic job of mid-control so far in this map right here. There's a lot of times at Noble Esports, yes, we did see Spy aggressively take control with the operator on, I think, one occasion a few rounds ago. But by and large, it has been Far Esports who've been able to slowly push back Noble towards the sites and not really let Noble play their aggressive game on the defense side after the first initial couple of rounds. And that has allowed Far Esports to kind of dictate the pace on the attack rather than Noble pretty much forcing Far Esports off early on. But looks like it's coming in, and SMX quickly to reply back, taking down Harsh. Sai coming in don't really have much to offer in terms of weaponry. Just a
I
couple
know
of sheriffs.
exactly where you are.
I don't see them being able to find much, but your two pistols, if they do begin to sing,
Spike planted.
things do get very tricky, very fast, but such of opportunities, you can't get an instant kill and overly spot out the play up towards the Raptors. No reason to commit from that point on for Knight Rider. Pretty much tailwind back to try and hang on to that Vandal with the clouds out. They're still going to continue to cover it in. They're sending the numbers down. It's
One
not what
player
they
remaining.
time is ticking down. Stanley does not expect the player on site and scars. Pretty much
That's a
restore
sexy
some
sheriff there coming from side. I was not expecting that at all. But at the same time here, Noble Esports played it as best as they can here. But this time they are tied 5-5. But it's going to be swinging in Noble Esports' favor this time here. They have all the ultimates available here. So this is going to be a huge deciding factor for both these teams here. Whoever wins this round is going to hold momentum in towards the second half. So in this case, Noble Esports has pretty much set up their pieces and made their preparations for a long time. And this is going to be the all-out battle between Far Esports and Noble Esports here. This match, this round right now, is going to decide who's going to be taking the lead. Because as of now, Far Esports, they have to play this extremely slow. The ultimates are available. And Knight Rider is going to be the first one to creep up towards stairs here, as they're going to be pushing up towards heaven of A side. But looks like they are going to be baiting rotations here, but looks like the smokes are coming in, and Far Esports, they're trying to bait rotations coming from Noble Esports, but seems to me they are going to be actually reacting this here. Shibi will pop the ultimate to face onto A side here, and looks like they will go in for the push, and Noble Esports is going to be trying to defend this here. Sammy will catch a couple players up top here. You can see the assist coming in from Shibi to try and buy as much time, but Sammy already pretty much shut down both Knight Rider and also the Cypher players. That's going to be A-side completely let off, but guess what? It's a fake! It's a fake! They're all running to B-side, and everyone from Noble Esports letting it all spike, and now they will get the spike plan on towards B-side now, and it's gonna be Noble Esports trying to retake this here. Rexy trying to buy time here. He's gonna try and bait something here. Showstopper does not connect. Distance off the mark. Sammy will shut down SMX. Scargon gets taken down, and it's all up to Shivi to go in for the cut, and they know exactly where he is. He's stuck about to have it. Noble Esports, they're gonna go for the defuse. They are gonna stick it, and they will take the spike defuse, and that's gonna be Far Esports trying for the spike
Last
plan
round
before
in
the
the half.
sale, and it's gonna be Noble Esports taking that round there, Shade.
Ooh, that was Noble Esports shutting down that A hit coming in. A lot of utility used up towards A, specifically from the breach there. He sets up the fault line along with the Rolling Thunder, but does not daze Sammy one bit. He's able to hold us down, get the 2 kills, forcing Far Esports back in towards the B side, but they get onto the B side. They have absolutely no utility left for that post-plant situation, and allowing Noble Esports a very comfortable retake. Their saving grace would have been that showstopper, but that showstopper coming in towards backhand, he finds absolutely nothing. Misses by a whisker, and that pretty much seals the deal for Noble Esports to shut down the round. And Sammy just continues to bring in the pain. Hika drops Scorecard as well here, and Harsh does manage to find SMX in towards screens. Whitehorse going to be left, the last man alive. Cypher here is going to get pushed all the way back, and come through just for the style points there. 11 out of 10, Hika.
Switching sides.
Surprise, Hika. You know, once again with the Osama bin Laden, my friend. He goes in, gets another one here, and that's going to be 7-5 for Noble Esports. This time, they're going to be switching up their sides here, and Noble Esports is going to be on the attacker side, and Far Esports now on the defender side. Great run so far from Far Esports. They've not given up here, despite losing 2 games in a row against Noble Esports here. And now, with Far Esports, you know, I'm really liking their spirit here, because right now, they're putting up a fight for their lives here. If Noble Esports is pretty much definitely caught out of a surprise here, because Hika is playing a little bit defensive now as compared to the usual aggression and overconfidence that we usually see here. But can they keep this up here? Because pistol rounds is going to dictate here. Far Esports, they need this round if they want to keep up the lead here. But as of now, Noble, they're playing it slow. Hika going to be taking a chill pill. He does see the spy cam. He's going to kind of try to deny this here. Sai gonna be looking around potentially here, and somehow he manages to stick all the way towards Zippy here, and he's gonna try and look for a couple players here. But meanwhile, movements are coming in towards B side. You can see Hika gonna be looking around as well. He goes in for a spray here. He tries to buy time for the rest of the teams here, and he's got enough time because Harsh and Rexy gonna go and shut them down. Hika gets another one here. That's gonna be Knight Rider again taken down here, and Far Esports is all up to Scorecard, and also SMX clutching for the team. It's 2v3. They get the bomb plant from the side of Noble Esports, and now it's going to be a retake here as Hika going to be lurking up towards Heavens. SMX going to go in for the paranoia, doesn't seem to connect, and now Hika going to try and get a couple kills, and yes, they will, as Noble Esports wins the round with Hika getting a 3K.
That was well strategized there from Noble Esports on the attack. It was a quick hit towards the B side, but the utility used wasn't really to get the early fights at the B side. Instead, it was to ensure that Hika manages to get deep inside the B side and get that frenzy online. And as soon as the rotations start to come in from Far Esports, Hika at the back of the site is able to pick them one by one, even manages to loop all the way around the B stairs back into tower for that final pick off. And that's the pistol going the way of Noble Esports here on attack, and they're going to continue to go super fast here. Aggressive play. Hika almost gets punished in, but Sai comes in with the backup there, giving them the opening pick, and now they're pincered. There's nowhere to go for Far Esports. SMX comes in with the frenzy there, but no surprise. It's just the one kill. Noble Esports, a beautiful fast play there on the anti-eco round. 9-5. They're inching closer and closer to the title now, I see.
I know, right, Shay? Like, that was a really nice kill there coming from SMX. Casually catches a falling angel from the sky as a side gets picked off from behind. But at the same time, Noble Esports continues with the lead. Far Esports, like I said, they needed the earlier pistol round. With this round coming in the back here, they need to go in for the all-in rifles here. And in this case, Whitehorse will go in for the spy cam. They know exactly where they are. They hear all these shots coming in. But Spectres are getting a shot here, but Sai pretty much trying to check where the cams are, and finally finds it before actually going for the push. It seems to be they are going to be pushing to this B side, trying to bait Hoopers. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams coming in from Noble Esports are lurking on towards A side, but Sai already lurked all the way far back here. Knight Rider knows this is coming. He hears all this movement. It's going to be a fake coming in from Noble Esports, and it's going to be a big one for Knight Rider. He catches one. Not going to be enough, but SMX will go in for the save here. It takes down Sammy, and that's going to be Far Esports defending against his cheeky play coming from Noble Esports.
One
But
player
Noble Esports
standing.
down to 2v1, and nope, make it 1v4 now. It's gonna be up to Rexy going for the clutch. He's gonna run Kumbaya here as the Spectre just gonna be running around with the Spectre, but White Horse will catch him. As Far Esports needs the round, they get the round. Greedy plays coming from Noble Esports to save up those Spectres, but it's all worth it for the economy because right now they have the economy to work with. This is gonna be all out battle for both of the team here, Shade.
Yeah, that was an SMG all-out bait play towards the B side, but unfortunately, the Jet gets spotted out at default just as the utility goes off, allowing Far Esports a much easier fight at B, setting up things at A for them, and they were able to pull one round back, but this is the big one here for Far Esports. They absolutely have to win this if they are to keep their chances alive. The flash comes out and Scorecard just peeks in 3 players on that. He did not expect a Night Fighter. Immediately responds back. He lines up 2 players there inside and Hika, that's huge there. They get the bait play in and it works beautifully. Plays into the hands of Far Esports, giving them the numbers advantage here as Night Rider quick rotate back towards the A side as they do expect Noble to quickly swing back across. In fact, Harsh has already made his way back up through ramp. Is he going to push Cloud? The Cloud goes off. Perfect timing. There's no one really watching this move right here. Harsh will find himself a free kill onto Rexy, but Cypher, how much damage can you do at this point of time? Harsh has taken full control. In fact, has rotated all the way back towards screens here. Back A, he should be able to line up one, if not both the kills here. They do expect we fire through the corner and he's whiffed.
30 seconds
and with
left.
that, the chance of Noble Esports trying to make a comeback here this round, not going to be the case in Sammy. With 20 seconds remaining, is probably already thinking of a save.
Yeah, definitely has to save this year. So that's a great round thus far from Far Esports here. And that play down mid was something that definitely catch
10 seconds left.
Noble Esports off guard here. They stacked up 3 to 4 players down to his middle, and Noble Esports did not expect this kind of aggression here. And so thus far, allowing Knight Rider to go for a huge takedown here and immediately just denying all of economy coming from Noble Esports here. But hopefully things are going to be a little bit different here now. With the Vandal, they can still make things a little bit harder for Far Esports trying to make up with those economy losses that they gain here. But this time, it's going to be pistols rounds potentially coming from Noble Esports. And Far Esports, they are going to be very confident about this year. They have the lead. You can see the setups coming up here. They're going to be setting up 2 guys at A, 2 guys at B as well. Default plays coming in from Far Esports.
That goes there. This goes
For
here.
this particular round,
This is a nice
just to cope, knowing that, hey, Noble Esports, they're going to be playing full eco here, but at the same time, look at this. They are going to be stacking towards mid once again, coming from Noble Esports, and Scorecard going to be looking for the sprays here. Doesn't seem to connect. The flash is coming in. He needs to back off, and Sai, he's going to go in for the aggressive push. He does have the shorty available here. He's going to go for the double pumps. But unfortunately, doesn't seem to find any here. So Harsh will be holding the Sheriffs here. They're going to be trying to babysit with the Vandals here. Sammy with the first pick takes down Knight Rider, and Sammy gets another one. So it's going to be making things hard for Far Esports there, and they are still 5 men alive. Scarguard gets another one here coming from Far Esports. They make it even for the 3, but the knife! Sai, where did you get the knife from White Horse here on the kill feed? How did he get it? Now it's going to be 2v2, and the showstopper from Scarguard. Osama Bin Laden back at you, my friend. And it's going to be 2v1 as Noble Esports tries to make the play, but Sai, he did get the knife earlier on though, so it's going to be 1v2 as Far Esports, they are going to be the ones to defend here, and the spike is going to be up for retake. It's out in the open. Sai, he's just so many angles. He takes the clock. He manages to secure the spike. He's got 34 seconds left on the clock. Seems to me he's making
30
a
seconds
run towards
left.
being by trying to buy time for himself here. But look at this. He's going to be going for a cheeky play. He's faking his movements here coming from Sai. He's going back, making a big round right here towards A side. Can he get the pick off? He sees a random opening here, but at the same time, have they rotated? He's got 14 seconds left. Scarcard is going
10
to be
seconds
chill.
left.
He needs to play slow. At the same time, the clock is ticking for Sai. He makes a
the
run.
timing.
And no, it's just the timing. And Sai gets the bomb run.
Spike planted.
Fury and Far Esports, they landing inside, and Sai gets the bomb plant, and Sai eventually gets taken down, straight down through the walls. But eventually, Far Esports clutches it 8-9 here, Shade. Oi, 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 oi. That's a
Love
close one
explosions.
there.
Well, Far Esports should have had a much harder round there, considering Noble Esports did manage to get a lot of pickoffs in towards the A side. It was pretty much just Cargod left to his own devices up at the A side. But boy, oh boy, did he step up massive there. In fact, 4 kills holding his own. In fact, the showstopper even manages to find the player there straight up below him at the A side, finally setting up for that clutch at the end. Valiant effort from Sai. He did pretty much all he could have, but he did not really have the time to get himself into a better post-plant situation, considering the plant that he did go for eventually. So Noble Esports, that lead has dwindled all the way back down to a single solitary round here. Question is, Far Esports, they've got nothing to lose at the moment. They're giving it their all. They know it is now or never, but Noble Esports, can they pretty much piece things back together and close things out right here? Sammy peeks back out, but they did have the trade play in position. Knight Rider with the operator pulls on back, but it's full control of Wentz in. Hika, they're just going to push in with the entire cavalry. They have control of Heaven here as well towards A. The boom bot goes up, can't really make its way back out towards the back of side. And Hika just White Horse alone. The break from SMX needs to go big. He gets one, make that 2, and he's pretty much got only the breach here on the side of 1v3 as the max goes big. Everyone from Far Esports stepping things up when they need it, and we're back level here on split 9-9.
Ooh, this is a close call here for Far Esports, but a huge run there coming from SMX to take the round, tying 9-9. And this time, we are back at that particular moment here, Shade, because it's going to be all in or nothing. Everyone's got the ultimates available on Noble Esports. They have the economy, but seems to me, look at this. Interesting buys coming from Noble Esports. They want to go in for a half buy for this round to try and deny the economy for Far Esports. So very greedy plays coming from Noble Esports thus far. And Far Esports, they are going to be compensating with the operator here, as they are going to try to go for the SMGs to try and take down this operator down mid. But unfortunately, no one is biting here. Nice flash coming in from Noble Esports, but Far Esports, they are going to be backing out for now. As you can see, Knight Rider, he's going to be holding the angles. They have the showstop, Blade Storm available here, but so what can he begin? He goes for the white swing, and Sai takes down the operator. Oh, that's going to be a big one here. This half buy is going to be a good one here as they shut down the operator from Far Esports. And can they continue? They have the ultimates. Noble Esports, they're looking for the push, but this time Far Esports, they're going to be respecting this here. They're going to be stacking up towards the tunnels here to go in for the pick. Will they go for the fight here? Sammy will get a pick with this chef. The SMG, and they win the fight in the tunnels. And Noble Esports, they somehow managed to get away with this half-hearted buy. And they will get a flawless run from Noble Esports here today. Oh my goodness.
Free upgrades all to the rifles here for Noble Esports, as it did look like Far Esports had clawed their way back in and were en route to closing things out, but Noble Esports, they're able to pretty much shift a couple of gears up almost instantaneously there, challenging Far Esports early into the round, and now the economy looks so much better for Noble and Far Esports. How much of a dent has it done mentally here for them? It's continue to push ahead. He did not account for SMX being there as well. This man's been an absolute beast here on the A side. He continues to find kills for Far Esports, but are they asking too much of him at the moment? Spike one gonna come down. It's a 4v4 on the retake. Big kill there. I know exactly. He finds Kika in the corner. In comes the mural. Theft, and they find one also utility in hand. Allows White Horse to get 2 kills, leading it all down to Sammy in a 1v3. I don't see this being possible. He's been spotted out towards Heaven, and he's gonna call for the save. The defuse is already done. 10-10 as SMX steps up huge there for Far Esports.
Wow, what a big round there from SMX as well. Like, he caught Hika off from afar with a casual headshot. He baited Hika all the way through, and Hika was debating if he wants to take those shots. But unfortunately to say, that's going to be Far Esports making it close for us here as casters here. Because as of now, 10-10, Noble Esports, they have to be focusing right now here. They figured out the plan to shut down the operator, but it's not going to be enough because they've committed side to taking him down. And because of that, they lost one of the star players here. And Sammy was going for the long flag, but at the same time, that flash there did not work out. But look at this here, Shade. Once again, Knight Rider going to be playing a little bit aggressive down mid here. Noble Esports to understand this. It's going to back up. But look at this. The Spike has scars it out. And they know there's going to be people in tunnels here. You can see the clouds already being placed on towards B side. But no one going to be exiting yet as of now. Shivi going to be setting up with the flashes here. But Hika gets the nade here. And he takes down Scorecard. So that's going to be an opening here for Noble Esports. But looks at this. The one-way smoke comes in. The Omen smoke on top of that to try and deny that vision away from Far Esports. But now the up. Oh no, the quick scope. Not enough time. Sai once again catches Knight Rider 3 times in a row. And that's going to be a lot of economy burning down. And this time they're going to be dashing down here as well. Sai with the quick dash down to actually catch Shivi and Whitehorse. Beautiful stuff coming from Sai. Not enough time for them to go for a cross and placement here. It's all up to SMX to touch in here. He takes down Sai. 1v3. Can he go in? Paranoia is there. But he's getting shot from all angles. And it's going to be Noble Esports taking 11-10. They are taking the lead. Can they continue to take the entire game here, Shade?
Oh boy, that was the bait play in towards the B-long. They get in both the Dark Cloud as well as the Cyber Cage, expecting a push in through main, but instead it was a play coming all the way through mid and tower. Eventually, Sai coming in, finding the players in the corner. They were outnumbered. They were pincered into the corner. They're up at the B side, and if not for some miraculous play, they wouldn't have been able to hold on. And Knight Rider, oh boy, Sai again at an aggressive place. He finds another one.
I
Knight
know
Rider
exactly
pushed through aggressively.
Spike planted. One last player standing.
Hitting ends up going down, and Whitehorse to show the wide things at 12-10. It is 2
Match point.
championship points coming up for Noble Esports. Far Esports have looked a completely rejuvenated squad here on split, but looks like it might not be enough anyway here, I see.
Oh no, this is gonna be the last one here because as of now, 4 Spies coming on from Far Esports. They've got Arises, they've got Phantoms, they've got Spectres, they have to go all out. Shivi, can you pull the big one here? SMX has bought another headshot here, but this is the moment of truth, Shade. This is gonna be the moment of truth. Can Noble Esports take it, or will Far Esports make a comeback here? Because now they are gonna be on the offense here. The flashes are coming inside, going for the opponent. They push, but he gets punished for this, and Whitehorse will shut him down. So that's gonna be the opening here for Far Esports, and they make it 5-4. Scarguard gonna be holding angles here. Harsh gonna be pushing from the sides as well. But on top of that, the kill feed, Sammy, they take 2. It's gonna be a 3v3. It's still not over yet. But at the same time, they don't have utilities here. Pika getting flash and free fire is coming. He's gonna get caught out and open. He gets taken down. Far Esports make it 3v2. But at the same time, they've got one low player here. They need couple shots here. Can he get it going? Yes, Sammy catches the game. He gets another kill. Can he get more? It's 2v2. It's all up to between Sammy and Harsh to win the championship title. But Far Esports is still there. Harsh takes it down. 2v1. But not ready to take Sammy. It's 1v1 now for the championship title. Can you do it, Harsh? Knight Rider, the best player coming in from Far Esports, going up against Harsh, the best support coming in from Noble Esports. It's gonna be a play smoke, chill pill here, but the spike is gonna be available up on towards Harsh, and he's gonna make the plays here as he's got 37 seconds on the clock. But seems to be Knight Rider. He's gonna keep the dream alive for Far Esports.
30
and
seconds
it's not
left.
over yet. 30 seconds left off the clock. Harsh going for the spike plan here. He's gonna successfully do it. But at the
Spike
same
planted.
time, Knight Rider, he does not have the clouds available. He has a couple of dashes to work with. Can he do it here? There's 1v1 here. Harsh lurking in the shadows here. He's trying to find all those angles. Where is he? Knight Rider makes a little bit of movement here, but at the same time, Harsh, he heard it. He's gonna go for it, and he gets the kill. He takes it down. He gets the flag. He takes the win for Noble Esports, and they win the championship title for the VALORANT Warfare presented by Playtonia here, Shade. What a clutch coming in for Harsh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness.
Harsh there goes
my
huge.
God.
Goes absolutely huge there at the end, gets the initial kill all the way back towards screens, and the presence of mind to just pick up the spike there, rush back towards the B side, gets the plant in towards Ali, giving him access all the way back towards stairs as well. At one point of time, we did see the Jet actually try and guess that he was in fact towards stairs in tower, but a wonderful play there from Harsh, and well-deserved champions here, Noble Esports. They have had a flawless run, haven't dropped a single map throughout the entirety of the tournament here in Playtonia Presents Valorant Warfare. And not to forget, it's a huge shout out to Godel, aka Far Esports. I think they've had an amazing run as well. No maps dropped till the finals here today, but I think they were heavily outclassed. They did a wonderful job of kind of readjusting here in map 3, and there were a couple of situations where I think Noble kind of took their foot off the gas, allowing Far Esports to come back into it, but when it eventually mattered, when it was 10-10, that was when Noble Esports stepped it up back again, realizing that they had the title within their grasp, and boy oh boy, they put on a show. Thoroughly deserving champions, I see.
Yeah, congratulations to them, and Harsh with the 1v1 here. Close call there. But still, nevertheless, here, congratulations to Noble Esports. They well-deserved win right there. But that's the thing. My question here is, where was this Far Esports in Game 3 during Game 1 and Game 2? Where were they? Because they look so scary and strong. And if they were there in Game 1 and Game 2, things would be so different here. But that's the beauty of best of fives, right? You adapt. And that's how it took them quite a long journey for Far Esports to adapt. But eventually, they learned. So that's progress here. Because eventually, if you want to be one of the best teams in the world, do not be afraid to lose. And in this case, they lost 2 games in a row and they did not give up. And Game 3, that's what's more important here. Because for me, I feel like they've won my heart just because they've not given up. But I feel like even though they've lost this to Noble Esports, they've learned a valuable lesson from this year, because this is going to make them so much stronger in the future. And I'm looking forward to see more coming in from Far Esports in the future. But nevertheless, Noble Esports is your champions for the Valorant Warfare, brought to you and sponsored by Playtonia. But nevertheless, we're going to be taking a short break here. Before that, don't go anywhere. We are going to be presenting you all the stats and also everything for you guys to watch in this tournament here. And be sure to comment down in the comments here, who is your favorite team, your favorite players on our social medias here from Playtonia, but Facebook, Instagram as well. And let us know who, as we are going to be selecting the best players from all the entire tournament itself here. And my name is ICBaby12. Be sure to drop down and follow. His name is Shade Sailor. He dropped down and follow on his Facebook and Instagram as well. We are going to be taking a short break, and don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Noble Esports are your champions of Playtonia Presents Valorant Warfare. A thoroughly deserving victory, 3-0 in the grand finals up against Far Esports, who had a very slow start in the first two maps on Haven, getting taken down 4-13 and 3-13 on Ascent later. But boy, oh boy, did they show up and put up a massive fight on Split. But Noble weren't to be denied there, IC.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful game coming from Noble Esports, and I'm really glad they still managed to get 3-0. Like I said as well, for Esports, game 1, game 2 was really, really hard for them to play, but nevertheless here, game 3, they gave it their all, and that was a really good game here because I did not expect them to actually make a miraculous comeback, and it worked out eventually, but still not enough. Eventually, it's going to be a lesson learned. Hopefully, in the future, things are going to be better for them in the near future when the next time we see them in the Valorant tournament here. But nevertheless, for those guys watching at home here, be sure to drop comments here. Follow Playtonia Facebook and also Instagram for future events. And also, there is going to be a voting session for you guys to vote for the favorite team in this entire tournament here for the Valorant Warfare. All you gotta do is go to the Playtonia Facebook page and also Playtonia's Instagram handheld there, and drop down those comments and select who your favorite teams are, because it's very important for you guys fans to support who your favorite teams are. Go down to the Facebook page or the Instagram handheld at Playtonia, at Playtonia, Playtonia. Drop down those comments, vote for your favorite team, and we'll be announcing the winners of the favorite team soon. And of course, the favorite player the voting will be starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. IST at Playtonia's Instagram. So for the favorite players, be sure to come back tomorrow and check Playtonia's Instagram and vote at 11 a.m. and to support who is going to be your favorite player here. But today, I think we are going to be announcing momentarily here who is going to be the MVP. But before we get into that here, let's take a look at our stats here, Shade.
Yeah, let's have a look at the scorecard for map number 3. It's going to be completely different to what we saw in the first two maps of the day, with Hika continuing to frag away. And I think he's made a huge case for himself for that MVP title here. 23, 16, and 7 with an average combat score of 297. 5 crucial first bloods, and he continues to hang on to that 1 KPR. Harsh on 19 in second position, 18 kills on Sammy as well. Sai, I think, did a fantastic job of getting the opening picks time, and again playing hyper aggressive on the Jet was crucial in allowing Noble Esports to set up and take control of sites early in the round. And Rexy, I'd say it was a little bit on the silent side here on Split, but he's continued to perform consistently over the entire tournament and allowing Noble to do what they do. White Horse coming up big yet again for Far Esports. I think he's been one of the standout performers for them throughout the entire tournament. A change in the agents itself. We got to see the Rays for the first time for Esports onto the hands of Scorecard, and didn't it make a huge difference? That one solo hold with the 4K towards the A site, setting up Far Esports to go deep into map number 3 and give them a shot of maybe pushing this finals to a map 4. SMX, I think, has been by far the most consistent performer for Far Esports in the grand finals. Clearly the best player in the first two maps. I think he had some huge moments himself. A couple of rounds clutched almost alone. We saw that wonderful play in towards the A side where he was able to pretty much set up the retake all alone on the Omen. Knight Rider, not a map that he'd want to remember for too long. a couple of times got caught pushing hyper aggressive with the operator. Shivy, I think he'll be pretty disappointed with how the entire finals kind of played out for him. I think he had an amazing semifinals yesterday, but wasn't really his day today, I see.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, so I have to commend all the players as well, because they have been a long journey for them here throughout the entire month as well. All the qualifiers making it towards the semifinals and then the grand finals here. Eventually, all the players who's made it to the semifinals yesterday and today were pretty much undefeated. And eventually, we are looking for the best of the best from South Asia. And apparently, the best right now is Noble Esports. Congratulations for them for taking 3-0 in this grand finals. Beautiful stuff here. And all around the team, I guess, here coming from Noble Esports. But nevertheless, here, let's take a look at the player versus player feature here, because both of these teams, they have their star players, they have their moments for map number 3 here. And let's talk a little bit more on how it actually went down, because we saw brilliant moments coming from Sammy throughout the whole day yesterday. Today, it's a different one here, because Hika finally stepped it up. And ever since game 2 onwards, Hika has been stepping up for Noble Esports, and he deserves this feature as well, because Hika versus Whitehorse. Whitehorse undeniably one of the star players coming from Far Esports. He was performing all the way through yesterday as well. He's done some amazing clutches here. And as what's really brilliant about him is that a Cypher player able to frag out. And we saw a lot of moments where Whitehorse single-handedly clutch sites all by himself, delaying so many of the time here from enemy pushes here, and able to clutch this out. And on top of that, as a Cypher player, getting 19 kills, that is ridiculously impressive here for Whitehorse. Whereas Hika, today, his hyper aggression was so aggressive, which we did not expect as well, but his raise plays has been on point, zoning them off. And on top of that, despite winning the war, I think Hika's biggest challenge was actually Whitehorse, because time and time again, Whitehorse was actually punishing Hika's over-aggression, which was really nice. And a good read coming for Whitehorse. So no surprises, these two players are your best players for game number 3 here, Shade.
Yeah, by far, I think Hika consistently performing over maps 1 and 2. He was pretty much the best player on their side even before we got into split, and seeing the kind of performance come out from him. And he's got star players like Sammy and Sai to play around with him, and I think that pretty much set up for Noble to clean sweep the series here. Let's have a look at the overall scorecard to see how the scores look like at the end of 3 maps. We did get to see them individually, a lot of players fragging out in different matches, and there's no surprise that Hika continues to stay up at top. 56 frags, 32 deaths, 15 assists, a KPR of 1. Sammy and Sai, they've had a wonderful final. Sammy, super operator plays on map number 1. Haven, Sai responding back with equal if not better plays on Ascent. 48 kills between the two of them, almost mirror stats for them throughout there at the end. Harsh with 46 kills, 23-13 with a KPR of 0.82, and Rexy running up the lineup on 29 kills and a 0.52 KPR for Noble. Looking up down at Far Esports, we have SMX. Consistent fragging throughout the 3 maps. I think he's had a wonderful finals individually, but I think him and Scorecard are going to be a little disappointed. They weren't really able to take Far Esports over the finish line here in the grand finals. But nonetheless, 44-8 with a KPR of 0.61. Almost similar stats for Scorecard as well. Whitehorse going massive there in map number 3, boosts him up to 32, 50, 12, and a KPR of 0.57. Knight Rider on 31 kills, 45, 11, and a KPR of 0.55. And Shivy at bottom, I think he did not have a awesome grand finals, but he's had a wonderful tournament so far. His breach has been paramount in setting up Far Esports to get to this stage here, so he can walk away from this with his head held high, I see.
Oh, it's so hard to pick your MVP for this match here because as of now, overall stats, Hika definitely played the best out of all 3 maps here. But if we take into account that Sammy and Sai swap agent roles in that regards here, with Sammy playing the Jet earlier on in first game, he was dominating his way through here. Game 2, Game 3 onwards, he was playing the Omen and Jet was played from Sai here. So definitely Sai was able to pick up some massive kills here. But for me, it's hard to decide who the actual MVP is here. But overall, if you are talking about today's MVPs, I feel like Hika deserves the MVP for today. But if we are talking about yesterday's performance and today's performance here, I think overall Sammy would be the all-rounder for me, I guess. So it's hard to decide who the actual MVP is. But as of now, congratulations to Noble Esports. Beautiful stuff coming from them here. But let's take a little bit of comparison between both of the feature players from both these teams here and overall stats coming from both the star players here. And I'm looking forward to see who the feature players are. Because on the screen right now, we are going to be seeing, well, who are we going to see here? It is going to be SMX and Hika here, Shade.
Yeah, it is Hika. No surprises that we get to see Hika and SMX here. Hika consistently fragging out 56 frags, 9 first bloods, with 15 assists is being crucial in setting up Noble Esports to have a pretty darn straightforward 3 maps here. SMX, he tried his absolute best. Top fragged both the first 2 maps, and he had some wonderful plays in map 3 as well. But it was just not to be the day for VALORANT Esports. And I think, like you rightfully said, Hika, I think, has been the standout performer in the grand final today. But there are quite a few contenders for that MVP award for the overall 2 days, because we did see a lot of players stepping up massive for their squads, enabling them to eventually shine as a team. So regardless, congratulations to Noble Esports. I think at the end of the day, across the 4 teams here in the semi-finals, as well as the 2 teams here in the finals today, there have been a class apart, all things considered. They're unbeaten throughout the entirety of the qualifiers. I do believe they did come through the last qualifier, Q4, and yep, 2-0 yesterday. Got highly contested on Haven, considering that we did see a 13-11 scoreline with Reckoning almost seeing things through there, and with VALORANT Esports going for that early Haven pick today, and with a decider back on Haven in map number 5, I thought if VALORANT Esports were to secure that first map, we would have set up for a much closer series overall. But Noble Esports, they came prepared. They knew exactly what they were going up against. It was the same 5 agents that we got to see throughout, except for map 3. So they were ready for that breach. They knew exactly what was coming at them, and boy, oh boy, did they turn up prepared here, I see.
Yeah, definitely. I would have loved to see a best of 7 series, honestly, from that match. Like, I just want that performance. If it was a best of 7 series here, I think VALORANT Esports might have learn a bit more. It's going to be a little bit tiring on the rough edge, but at the same time, it's going to be a progress of how well they can adapt here. And I feel like this kind of series, long duration battle of attrition is going to be able to allow this team to actually grow even more here, which I really, really like here. But at the same time here, for these guys watching at home here, if you guys want to watch more tournaments in the near future, be sure to follow Playtonia Facebook and Instagram for more future events. And nevertheless, you can also follow our social media if you want like our casting, support us and drop us a comment. And because well, we definitely need your support, of course, for these guys watching at home. My name is ICBaby12. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and he is Shade Slayer as well, which you can follow him on Instagram and also Facebook. If you want to drop a comment, share us your most memorable moment today here with us, and also yesterday if you have joined us from before, as we are going to be closing up the series with a bang with Noble Esports taking the championship title here. Congratulations to Noble Esports for taking the championship title here at the VALORANT Warfare presented by Playtonia. My name is ICBaby12 and he is Shade Slayer. We are going to see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.
One enemy standing.
Quite clean.
One player remaining. One player remaining.
It's all about humanity.
One player remaining.
About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. About hu- It's all about humanity.
Player remaining.
Silence.
One player remaining. One player remaining.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About hu- It's all
30
about
seconds left.
humanity.
Spike planted. One player remaining.
Trick shots. Caught one.
One player remaining. One player
We
remaining.
have some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion.
One player remaining.
Autonomy is an illusion.
One player remaining.
Autonomy is an illusion. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
I think the girls with their nails done now.